And now, from the bowels of the internet, is the Hate-Bit Podcast.
The Hate-Bit Podcast is on the air. Welcome, I'm Yellkaos. Joining me as always, the amazing, tantalizing, and same time destructive AlphaOmegaSin.
Abso-fucking-lutely. And Cher, I don't know how that fucking plastic bag of a woman is still alive, but god damn it, she likes Cannibal Corpse and gets a thumbs up from me.
The super smooth Sainted Magnus.
Smooth as a baby's ass. Right, let's get on with this.
And the president of the Mike Matei fan club, Silent Rob.
President accounted for.
Today, here on the Hate-Bit Podcast, you know, this is episode 12 right here on the Hate-Bit Podcast. We've got a special guest. You guys have been bitching at us for fucking weeks to have somebody else on this podcast. You had Silent Rob too many times. Fuck that guy. Well, you know, we tried to get rid of him, but he followed us here, so we just figured, to hell with it.
No,
but we have a special guest. With special guests all the way from YouTube, the 10-foot terror from Tokyo Town, Kid Shoryuken. Kid Shoryuken, who are you? What are you doing here?
Oh, well, my name is Jim. The channel is called Kid Shoryuken. I do my shit out of West Tokyo. I guide people through the awesome, sometimes disturbing world of Japan, and I try to put my own little spin on it.
Spin, spin, spin.
We're glad to have you with us, and thank you very much for appearing on our show. We really appreciate it, and we hope you have a good time right here on the Hate-Bit Podcast. But anyway, welcome to our show. We got a lot to talk about today. We're gonna get a little nostalgic. We've got some retro stuff on the brain, so it's gonna be pretty cool. A lot to talk about a certain movie that dropped a trailer just recently, and a lot to go in there. And as you know, we are less than 1 week away from the debut, the launch of the Nintendo Wii U. Strangely, we don't really have much to say about it, except, well, it's coming out in a week, so, you know, brace yourself for that. But in the meantime, it's time for our discussion, the way we open the show every single week, and we hope you enjoy the way we do it. We're going to discuss our favorite PC or, you know, otherwise home computer emulators. And AlphaOmegaSin, when we jumped on right before the podcast, was just foaming at the mouth yet again. Couldn't wait to tell us all about his favorite emulator. So, AlphaOmegaSin, what are your favorite emulators?
Well, after my rabies shot, I was able to get my senses together and start thinking about it. And so emulators are one of the things, like, you know, game collectors are always like, oh, emulators are the bane of existence and everything. I completely disagree, because with things like, you know, having a PSP, for instance, PSP's fucking awesome because it's like an emulation machine. You want a Neo Geo? You got it in your pocket. You don't need a big fucking rig like I have sitting in my game room. If you want to have a Super Nintendo, fucking A, you got a Super Nintendo. A Sega Genesis? Of course you got one. And, you know, the list goes on, including fucking PS1. Yes, absolutely. An actual PlayStation Portable. Not to go and deceive people with the name, but you know, some of the ones, like for instance, that I've been fucking with is the Dolphin emulator. That one is a fucking sexy beast. Doesn't require a lot of know-how at all. Can you download an emulator? Cool. Can you download ROMs? All right. You got the ISO there. You just click load, and that's it. That's pretty much it. And you're up and going, assuming you have a capable PC. So something that isn't old as dicks. And yes, I'm using dicks. But because apparently there's a pile of old ones somewhere that I have to compare this to. But yeah, so the Dolphin emulator is one of the ones that I've been fiddling with. I just like it a lot because it plays GameCube and Nintendo Wii in HD, no less. And to the people out there that are like, it doesn't need to be in high def. You got to admit, seeing Twilight Princess in 1080p fully running, or Muramasa Demon Blade, or Kirby's Epic Yarn, or just, you know, a bunch of random games that are visually appealing to the eye in full high def glory is pretty fucking sweet. So
Exactly.
Sounds
Or
good to me.
playing Dreamcast ISOs and actually playing them on something that works instead of a broken ass Dreamcast.
Curse and
I
fucking
think-
power boards.
Yeah. Well, I for one, I remember back in the day, fucking playing on Nesticle, the weirdest fuck Nesticle, which for once,
I love the name.
Oh, dude, it sounds like testicle. We all know this. not to even mention the weird as fuck, disembodied, bloody as fuck hand that floats around the screen when you choose your games, and I don't understand that to this day. But yeah, I use that for like fucking ever to play NES
Doesn't
games.
that have that have the ability to record too?
I think so, man. It really was like the first NES emulator that I knew of that really like did it well, you know. So we kind of looked past the eccentricities of the whole Nesticle thing and kind of just went with it. But right now, currently, I use Nestopia for all my NES stuff, and SNEX, non-X, which that for SNES pretty much works on everything. It's got like a PSP version and a fucking like iOS version. There's just so many SNES 9.
I've got a version of it for the Nintendo DS Lite.
Oh yeah, it's got one for that too. So.
You know what's nice about the emulators? Even despite all things, if somebody was like, I am absolutely against the idea of having anything emulated, one reason why I can say it is a good idea to at least somewhat dabble in emulation is that there's lots of ROM hacks out there. Fucking ton. As a matter of fact, until recently, whenever they started having the reproduction carts and everything, like I got Clock Tower and Sweet Home and things like that, I enjoyed those games via a ROM because fans took the time out of their day because they were so avid about being able to play this, in English. And the companies that made those games weren't going to be putting them out ever. Like they had no fucking plan. So it's, it's up to the fans. And thinking about the Mother series, if it wasn't for fans, we wouldn't be playing those in fucking English. And then the unreleased ROMs and everything of games that just never made their way out, like Thrill Kill for PS1 is, I always look at that as like a prime example of this is why you should emulate sometimes. Always support the shit that's out because it deserves your fucking money so it can live on and prosper as a fucking franchise and whatnot, and the developers can get their just dues. But if it's old as shit and not being supported, whatever fucking option do you got?
Yeah. Exactly. Well, it's like preserving history, like after a while, as Yellkaos knows, old 3DO shit. 3DOs are touchy as fuck, man. These things ain't gonna last forever. I mean, come on.
Oh, I know. The one, just like the one I have, sounds like two fucking hamsters rowing a boat inside. They're on the rotating machine. Emulation is good. People don't give it the credit it deserves. Now, I'm an original hardware guy. In fact, I don't even really like backwards compatibility because you can tell that, sometimes you're just emulating another chipset. However, it does come in really handy with, one of my favorite emulators is called Neo Rage XP. It's a Neo Geo emulator. I love SNK games. I love the Neo Geo. AlphaOmegaSin, as he's mentioned before, has a stand-up MVS cabinet in his house. And fuck you, dude. I want one of those. But I don't know anybody who can openly just walk out and, buy these things and have that, coin available. So it's great for that because some of these things, let's face it, are just plain out of reach to your average gamer. Just the cost is unearthly. Not to mention, I'm also a huge fan of the TurboGrafx 16, which I use the Magic Engine to emulate that one. And once again, I love that system to death, and I do have a small collection of it. But some of these games are fucking ridiculously priced, and I'm not going through that.
Yeah.
Dude, TurboGrafx, like as far as like collecting goes, I've got a decent sized game collection. The thing I'm lacking in TurboGrafx, and it's because they cost a fucking arm and a leg. Like no fucking lie. And even to find them like complete and everything, like say you want to get the original Splatterhouse, that's like going to be like $30-40 fucking dollars. And somebody might be like, well, that's not a lot of money, but think of all the other shit that you're trying to get and pay for within a fucking week to a month's time,
Absolutely. It's all that aside, in fact, during my coverage of the Classic Gaming Expo this past year in Las Vegas, Nevada, I was on the lookout for some TurboGrafx games, and I was finding just the fucking cardboard sleeves, $35 goddamn dollars.
Yeah, people are fucking retarded. And the thing is, they're uncommon, man. Like,
They're
at least
very
around
uncommon.
here,
It's
like, I
very
shit you
rough.
not. I look, and I've come across two places. In both places, I bought them, that I found TurboGrafx 16 games, and the one game I bought online. That's the only reason why I even have the ones that I do right now. But it's a fucking shame because I mean the system actually has some pretty good games, and I'm still kicking myself to this day because I remember way back in the day my friend fucking hit me up on the phone because he worked at a gas station across the street. Somebody was having a yard sale, and he was selling all these games. I mean, tons of fucking games. I bought over half of his NES collection like right on the spot, and he had TurboGrafx 16 games. Keep in mind, I was pretty fucking young. And I didn't know what the fuck TurboGrafx was because I'd never even like fucked with the system ever once in my life. And I was like, I don't know what those are. I'm not buying them. He had like 30 or 40 fucking games, man. And I could have bought them for like next to nothing. And I was a fucking
If you knew then what you know now.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's one of those things. Like, and I mean, even people listening right now, you know, and you guys, there's been a situation where you're like, I wish I could have just whispered into my own ear, buy that, you fucking retard. Just fucking buy it. You'll thank me later.
I'd go back in time and buy like 30 copies of Panzer Dragoon Saga. That's
yeah. Oh my god, dude. That'd be. You know what I'd buy? A bunch of copies of Earthbound. Keep those bitches sealed.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you do stuff like you as kids. Like in like 20 years, I am gonna be the shit.
Yeah, dude, just like have a mountain of them and stand between them with your arms crossed, and then the only thing people say is, "I'm gonna kill that guy. I'm gonna fucking kill him. That fucking fuck." Like,
no kidding, right?
Yeah,
Saint Magnus,
yes.
do you have any emulators? Is that you do that sort of thing?
I do actually do some emulators, but mostly I do it for if I want to record game footage for games I already own. But recently, as in this past couple
Somebody's
months,
trying to cover up a copyright lawsuit.
over this past couple of months, I've been trying games like, as Alpha mentioned, some ROM hacks, for example. Like there was a ROM hack of a Pokemon game where it's actually, you can play it online, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, I love those features for the Pokemon ones. Those are fucking bitchin'.
Yeah, the thing is, it's the trouble of finding the right ROM to run the software, but it's pretty cool when you actually get something to work. Also, I've been playing games that I never actually get to play in my territories, for example. Like, there was the Power Rangers The Fighter game, which we never got in the UK. So it was good to actually try that. And I remember talking to Yellkaos and saying, "Oh, I'm actually enjoying this game." And it was pretty cool. Another thing, I started emulating on the Wii as well. I soft modded my Wii and gave that a couple of emulators on there, and I tell you what, they play really, really well with the GameCube joypad. But if you can get hold of a classic controller, the thing that plugs into the bottom of your Wiimote, it's still got a pretty good little emulator there with some decent emulation, emulator programs on there. One of my favorite ones is the Genesis one, because it plays it so faithfully, and you can even put it down to the 50 hertz. You could put it with scan lines on like you're playing on an old TV. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, Genesis emulates really well, especially on PSP. That's the one that like emulates like the best out of all of them. It seems like.
Oh yeah, it's so stable, as you mentioned. The only problems I've had is with the old Super Nintendo games, and reason being is because of the Super FX chip and the Mode 7 chips. Because some of the graphics on because I've put them on the DS Lite, and I've always had problems with them, but when I've put Mega Drive on there, no problem.
It can handle modes. It can handle the blast processing, but not the Mode 7. I don't understand that shit.
It just goes.
Mode 7 apparently is the shit.
It just goes to show that blast processing was actually a load of bullshit.
Oh yeah, marketing.
Marketing, yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, what about you, Jimbo?
The only, I don't even know if it's really technically an emulator, but I would use Mugen a lot, which was like the 2D fighting builder engine thing.
Yeah.
You basically just download all the characters and stages from various games and kind of edit it the way you want it and stuff. That was really the only thing I used. I used ZSNES quite a bit just to get when I didn't have a Super NES.
That's a good one.
It is a good one, yes sir. But really Mugen was my favorite thing, just because it was kind of fun going finding various websites dedicated to Mugen and downloading all the obscure fighting game characters you could get, and then customizing your soundtrack and life bars and ring intros and all that kind of cool shit.
Oh, dude, and people have like put in some fucking time on those characters. Like, I mean, custom sprites and everything, custom moves, custom effects and everything that are absolutely just amazing, hands down. I always thought some of the stuff that they did on there was fucking badass. And Mugen mentioning that makes me think of, you know, the main reason to emulate, even, again, if you're against emulation, this you can't argue with, MAME. MAME is the main reason that you should ever want to emulate, because you cannot have a fucking arcade with you at all times.
That's a project I'm going to be doing next year, is making my own MAME cabinet. It's going to be a pain, but I'm going to do it.
I mean, I've seen a lot of MAME cabinets. I mean, really hooked up ones. Ones with the fucking little trackball on top. I've seen ones with, 4, 5, 6 arcade sticks on it. I've seen ones with gun holsters on the side for all the arcade shooters and everything. And it's just, it's absolutely nuts. There was this one dude, he had it set up where there was an extra thing he would slide up to the front of it, because there was a gas and brake pedal at the bottom of the arcade cabinet, and a little seat he would slide up so you could play the arcade racing games properly. And it's nuts, some of the stuff that they go into. And even if you're like not able to do it, there's a lot of sites that are dedicated to making them. Just keep in mind, you're going to be spending some nice change to get one of those. But you'll get what you paid for. Admittedly, you'll have an entire arcade. So that in itself is pretty fucking gnarly.
Well, I can get the cabinet pretty cheap. You know, I've noticed on it's got like a load of cabinet cases for like £70. You know, but that's on £70 under the counter sort of thing. Also, it's just finding the right joystick, and I believe Ed T's got a decent one. It's what is it called? It's like a it's just got
the X-Arcade tank stick.
That's the one where it's got the trackball in it, and you've got the 6-button layout with the joysticks as well. So that's what I've got to keep my eye out for. But like you said, that's going to cost a pretty chunk of change.
Oh,
well, yeah, but speaking of MAMEs, I mean, the whole thing with MAME, it requires that amount of dedication. It has to. Have you ever tried to set up a fucking MAME game? I did once. I went through, all the lines of code you have to go through. I'm like, what is this, a fucking tax return?
It almost requires like a few years of fucking schooling to even be able to look
Absolutely. It's like, do I have to go to DeVry or something for this?
Yeah, I'm legitimately surprised, like, at community college, they're like, so you want to take up a course on MAME? And it's like, pardon? And they're like, just do it. Trust me, man. Just do it.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
But one thing, like, despite all the good talk of emulation, there's one that to this day is still, people just can't get a complete wrap around it, and that's the fucking Sega Saturn emulator. That thing is so difficult to fucking emulate for, and the worst part about it is apparently Sega lost a lot, like, the original coding to a lot of shit, so it's kind of hard to figure it out, and it's really up to the fans. And worse yet is, Sega Saturn isn't exactly like the most common fucking thing to find laying around everywhere. No. Like, at least the games, So it's like, fuck, we can't get digitized copies all the time, and you got to rely on emulation for shit like that. And that's something that's still pretty rough, even all these years afterwards.
Well, that system was literally the PS3 of its day. It was hard as fuck to program for, and now it's hard as fuck to emulate for. So. It sucks both ways.
There's just a whole bunch of fuck going on, isn't there?
Exactly.
Plenty. There's plenty, but dude, another emulator that I think that's just absolutely fucking the tits is EPSXE, and it's a PlayStation 1 emulator. It's the PlayStation 1 emulator. Because it works so well, and there's lots of like little things that you can download to pretty much spruce things up. But, recently I was running Mega Man Legends 2 on it. I swear to you, man, like, if you have a good computer and you're running this thing, like, maxed out on everything, you download the right shit for it, I made Mega Man Legends 2 look better than some PS2 games. I mean, this thing, it looked like a fucking beast. I was just like, yeah, thumbs up everywhere. It was fucking awesome.
I love when that emulator first came out back in the day. It was, like, easy as hell to download the emulator. Then you had to like fucking jump through 40 hoops of fire to get the goddamn BIOS.
Nowadays, I mean, dude, I still remember trying to emulate for that way back in the day, and it was fucking hard. Nowadays, you can just you can trip over the fucking files. Like, oh, there they are. Oh my god, there's a whole bunch, and there's some under that blanket. What? Why are these all here? This is just fuck.
It was like that with the Mega Drive emulator I have on the PC. It's Fusion, it's called, and it's probably one of the best Sega emulators out there because it plays all Sega Master System, Game Gear, Mega Drive, Genesis, Sega CD, 32X, and it plays them all pretty seamlessly as well. You know, it's you've even got everything down, like I mentioned before, with scan lines and stuff. It's so customizable. Also, you can record with it, as in it'll record through with the program. You don't have to have any special programs like Fraps to record. It's pretty cool.
Dude, I'd like that for.
They make it look crappy on purpose. I love that shit.
It's like I want to play this legit.
Yeah, overly legit.
Dude, well, it's crazy because the Sonic's the Mega Drive and the Genesis collection, doesn't that have a scanline mode?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I thought that so. Like I was pretty sure it had one. It's cool that they add stuff like that. I mean, there's some people who just be like, they'll look and be like, that's fucking stupid. But it's just one of those things. It's literally just for people who grew up on it.
Oh yeah,
like that's pretty much like ideally what it's built for.
That's why Mega Man 9 had like the flicker option, like turn that shit on. And
yeah, dude, I remember I had seen that, and I was just like, you clever little fuckers. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And one thing about fucking Fusion, Saint was mentioning it. Fusion was the emulator I used to emulate Sega CD well before I ever got a copy of Snatcher, because I couldn't afford one. I wanted to play the game desperately. I used Fusion to play it, and I mean, it played it flawlessly without any hitches, no problems whatsoever, and you don't need a beefy PC to play games on the Fusion emulator. Just a run-of-the-mill fucking random computer for like 200 bones from a store right now could play all the emulators that we're talking about, with the exception of like the Dolphin one. It'd probably choke and die on that, but still. Emulating, it's definitely got a good place, and it's also helps sometimes. Like if you want to emulate something and just to find out, is this worth playing?
Oh yeah.
And like, it is. Okay, now I'll go buy a copy. Because there's a lot of people that'll do that too. Not nearly as often, but it is known to happen.
Well,
you have to say...
Go on.
You have to say thank God for emulators, otherwise a lot of people would have spent a lot of money on fucking stadium events.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, let's put it this way. Emulating is a very, very cheaper version of PSN, and it works.
It has its place in the history of gaming, wouldn't you say?
And it works.
Indeed.
Yeah,
very useful.
I think that does.
See,
man.
That's good. I'm glad we had this discussion. And now every one out of you have no excuses. You know that it's okay to emulate. Don't worry. It's okay. Anyway,
we won't tell anybody.
We won't tell anybody exactly. Well, Sainted Magnus might. I don't know. He might crack.
Yeah. I am no snitch.
I didn't say you snitch, but I think you might fold under questioning.
No, I would be questioning that.
Anyway,
me.
What's that?
I'll be questioning them why they're questioning me.
Apparently you don't understand America. But anyway, we appreciate it.
I don't.
It's time for the Hate-Bit Cunt Bag. That time in the show, where we open it up with some questions from the audience. We check out the Hate-Bit Cunt Bag, the mailbag there, and, we get questions, comments, concerns from all different parts of the internet, and we encourage you to drop us a line at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, and you can also drop us a line right here at the YouTube inbox. And, this week, the Hate-Bit Cunt Bag is brought to you by AlphaOmegaSin's own very own line of chapstick, being called AlphaOmegaSin UltraBalm. And at AlphaOmegaSin's UltraBalm, they remind you to get some AlphaOmegaSin all over your lips.
Or your face. It doesn't matter either way.
or on your face. It's a multi-useful, chemical additive.
They don't even have to be chapped. Just get it on there.
Just get it all over your lips. Anyway, we got some stuff coming to us here at the inbox here on, was it YouTube or was it, no, I beg your pardon, it was in Gmail. And this piece of mail comes to us from Kyle North. And Kyle says, he doesn't want to know, Kyle says, hey guys.
Hey.
Yo.
He says, I would like to know what are your thoughts on the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim PS3 DLC problem. I was unaware there was a problem.
Oh.
And do you think it may the sales of Dishonored? Thanks for if you read this and keep the hate flowing. What's this? Sainted Magnus, you're the PS3 guy around here. What happened?
Basically, obviously, the port of the
I hope you
of
didn't report on
Skyrim.
have a poor memory.
Well, basically, the port of Skyrim was fucked. Basically, if your save file gets more than 4 megabytes big, you start to have problems. For example, if you jump in the water, your PS3 will go, I don't like this, and crash. So then they announced all this DLC, and PS3 owners started to get a bit excited, and then the Xbox got it. Then we found out a couple of weeks later, we're not ever getting any DLC for the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. So it's all kind of been a bit fucked since then. So I know they're not going to be releasing it anytime soon, and if they give us a Game of the Year edition, they better fix the fucking problems before they release that.
I just want a working edition. Can we have a Skyrim working edition?
That would be nice.
I played Skyrim and I was playing for like 3 hours, and I was like, yeah, I've got a good save here, saved it, turned it back on, went and did my shit, turned it back on later on, and I literally just loaded up my save, and I was walking to find like this special route that you're supposed to find throughout the world, which you get like some special money for it or whatever. I picked up one of them, turned around, my game crashed.
How dare you turn around?
I know, how dare I turn around?
Shame on you.
But the thing is, with Skyrim on the PS3, it's just fucked full stop. Most Bethesda games are fucked up on the PS3. Dishonored has had its fair share of problems from what I've had. The game sometimes you've loaded up and it brings your character back into the world and you're just about to move and then suddenly it'll freeze briefly and then run again. Or you get more texture rips and texture popping and screen tears and just a whole list of fucking problems I've had with it so far. It's not stopped me from enjoying the game though, because they've been minimal. But when it comes to any other massive RPG for the PS3 from Bethesda, has always been fucked. So it
was fucked. It was fucked, and they knew it was fucked, and they released it for the same fucking price as the 360 version.
Yeah,
and that's the worst part of it for me.
Yeah, and the superior version is still going to be PC either way.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so I've been pretty upset with Skyrim. I was actually looking forward to it until I tried the PS3 version. Now I regret buying the PS3. Well, it was actually bought for me, but I regret playing it. So.
Oh, dude, nothing deflates your fun more in that game than when you get to a dragon and fight it for 45 minutes only to realize you cannot kill it because it's unfucking killable. Yeah. And you're just like, what the fuck, dude? I literally got to that point and had to like reload my game to like a save point that was 2 hours prior to that for it to fix that fucking glitch.
Oh no!
And what's sad?
How did you forget to put in death?
That's fucking modernized fucking game developers. They're just like, yeah, we'll patch it later. No reason to playtest these things anymore. You can just patch it later, and it's just a terribly lazy mentality that, unfortunately, is just accepted as the norm now. And if you go and you get the game, and for whatever reason you didn't log in online and get that patch, you're just sitting there with your broken ass game, wondering what the fuck happened and why you have less money in your bank account.
Yep. Who actually pays full price for a game now?
Back in my day, if a game was fucked up, it stayed fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you didn't have fucking fixes coming down the line for these games. You know, they had to make these games work at least halfway fucking decent before they released them.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can.
At least now we have like the internet, so you can find out these fucking assholes' addresses and send them a bomb in the mail. God bless America and the internet.
And don't forget the anthrax letters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how very 2003.
Oh, I know.
I just don't get how you can have access to so much money and technology and still manage to fuck up a video game.
Oh, no.
I don't understand.
They have all these games where they've got budgets bigger than the fucking AVGN movie, but they still can't fucking make a decent product.
It baffles my mind.
No, some of these budgets are like the size of the American deficit.
Oh, no.
Well, what I think is sad is when you see those little games out there, the ones that are quote-unquote like the niche titles, that are fantastic games through and through. Nobody pays a lick of attention to them. They don't have any of these glitches, any of these problems, because they took proper care, proper time with everything. Yet nobody's going to play them, but they'll play the shit out of the glitch-filled mess.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, my whole thing is, if you don't know how to program for the PS3, you probably shouldn't be making fucking PS3 games. You know?
Good point.
Like,
Yeah.
That
or hire people that do know how.
Exactly.
You know, the PS3 is like the Sega Saturn of our time, really, and it's just the architecture. It's so difficult to program for. But you've seen from first-party developers like Naughty Dog, for example, that have made the Uncharted games look fantastic. They've made the Ratchet and Clank games look fantastic, and you know, the PS3 is a good system if people know how to use it.
Oh yeah, it's been proven time and time again. Like, you can make amazing games on this, and if you don't know how to program, you need to take a fucking class or something, man.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Don't you think we're really reaching the apex where it's apparently clear that everyone making video games now are just those assholes who took a 6-week course at, like, Everest College? I hear there's money in video games. And then you get Skyrim 3 for the PS3.
Dude, you know what I love?
Didn't Peter Molyneaux, didn't he go to Everest College, I
think? No, shit. No, I think he went to, like, West Point or something.
I think he went to grade school, but that was it. No, I liked on those
He went to the mountain, and Jehovah gave unto him... Never mind.
He went to college and never graduated.
15!
The best thing about all those commercials is whenever they have two people sitting on the couch, both with controllers in their hands, and they're playing, doing the fake acting like they're really into a game. They're like, wow, I didn't realize programming for video games was this easy and fun. Yeah, I'm sure glad I went to blankety blank school for video game making. Yeah. And then it shows like the worst PS1 CGI fucking graphics ever. It's like this. You don't program by doing that. You don't program games by fiddling with fucking square and triangle and the right analog stick like you're confused in the fucking back of a Volkswagen Beetle with your first fucking date. It doesn't work that way. Just stop. Stop and think.
Yeah, you're not going to be programming 3DO games here. Like, what the fuck?
You need actors who aren't being paid much to do the full motion video and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To do 3D, you need a webcam and like a graphing calculator.
If you have a web camera, it has to be a webcam from like 95.
Yeah, and it has to be a Texas Instruments graphing calculator.
Dude, get the fucking Game Boy camera. That thing is definitely up there.
Yeah. That thing was pretty fucking cool, I must admit.
That thing was horrifying.
I loved it.
Like, anytime I saw pictures on there, I was like, Jesus Christ, that is a fucking monster.
I think for me what sucks worse is that, I mean, even though we continually get games that seem broken or what have you, it's just sucks because now we have like established like names as far as developers go. I think like buying games is almost becoming like voting or something. Like, you don't want to go with like the quote unquote losers, so you stay with all these like established brands and things like that. It's shitty because, like, I don't know, say 20 some odd years ago when they weren't really like established brands yet, people could kind of jump around and pick and choose what was good and what was bad and what have you. But now that there's these like handful of big name companies that are running most everything and sucking up a big chunk of the profits, it's just they've got gamers by the balls. And
well, yeah, people need to learn rules about picking your games. I have a rule: if I've ever heard of whoever's on the cover, the game sucks. Major League Baseball, National Basketball League, Power Rangers, 9 times out of 10, game sucks.
Yeah.
Anything with the EA in it.
Yeah, but I wonder, what does that have to do with the sales on Dishonored?
I don't know. Dishonored it's had mediocre sales, to be fair.
I don't know. I thought Dishonored is doing pretty good in sales. The problem is that everybody's expectation of what is considered to be good sales is way too high because of games like Call of Duty selling like 40 million. All the classic games from way back in the day didn't sell nearly the same fucking volume, yet they're like considered the classics of the classics that everything is molded after. Yeah. Everybody needs to get their fucking like shit in check. I don't care how many games were fucking sold. I just cared if it fucking entertained me, amused me, and is something that I want to go back to at some later point in my life.
Does Dishonored have kill streaks? Does it have nukes? No. Oh, fuck that.
No.
shit,
Yeah,
man.
wait, all my friends weren't buying it and playing online versus each other? No, that shit's real weak. Don't want to play.
Weak sauce.
Well, the only thing that it has got that's related to online, it's according to the back of the box, it says network features, which just basically means you can check if you've got DLC available for it or not. And that's it.
Jesus.
Well, I really think the problem here is I don't think anybody knows what a successful game looks like in a shrinking market.
Well, they just seem to think if it's got guns in it, then it's successful.
I beg to differ.
Well, I don't know that. Well, let's take Ghost Recon. The last Ghost Recon game that they
You always go with Ghost Recon. Fuck.
I don't always go with Ghost Recon, actually. Well, Ghost Recon, we'll go with Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2. That was a sort of stealth game with good tactics in it. You played the new one, Future Soldier. It's Gears of fucking War in a modern world with stealth camo. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just like, if it's not anything based along the fact that if it plays like Gears of War, it'll do well. If it doesn't play like Gears of War and be something totally different away from the whole,
Yeah, look at Resident Evil 6. That works
exactly.
Well for Resident Evil 6.
Burn.
Burn.
But I mean, if you think about it, are they giving gamers what they want or just a perception of what they think gamers want? Because the games keep selling regardless.
The gamers are fucking suckers. They'll
Rubes,
buy what
all
they're
of them.
told to buy. End of discussion.
Exactly.
Sadly true.
I mean, it worked on us. How many times did you get into an argument in the playground, Super Nintendo versus Sega Genesis?
I've still got
Countless.
the black eyes from it.
See,
still
and you know,
fucking
mind you,
doing
we
it.
only were experiencing it from like magazines and TV every once in a while. Now it is bombarding them every single minute of every single day.
Oh no,
What this has to do with Skyrim, I have no idea.
no idea.
Everything.
Everything. That's right. God damn it.
Well, let's put it this way: Skyrim sucks on the PS3. Bethesda games suck on the PS3. Move on.
Yep.
Yeah, just accept it. Move on with your life. Everything will be fine. That's not true, but I say it just so you'll fucking leave me alone. Anyway, we have.
You say it's a bit sincere.
But we got more mail here in the cunt bag, and this one coming to us to the inbox here on YouTube, and it comes from YouTube user Video Game Carnage, and he says, as you all have superb taste in music, what albums do you consider to be perfect, as in they don't have a single weak track on them? Geez, that could take a while. Does anyone have any?
I mean,
I can't think of any perfect albums. Every album I've ever heard has at least one piece of shit.
I definitely have one, and that's Judas Priest's very own Painkiller. Not a
Fuck
single
yes.
fucking bad track on there.
Actually, that
yes.
is a pretty good one. That is a pretty good one.
Yes.
Let's see.
Mind you, you can't pick best of album. I'm going to put that rule in place right now. That's against the rule.
Okay, here, how about this? Oh, damn, I'm trying to think of... Fuck, I just started drawing a blank, god damn it.
Alpha drawing a blank? What the fuck? No!
Just put a line there. Actually,
I would say Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd The Wall. The Pink Floyd The Wall is one of my favorites. That's one I can listen to all the way through and not skip anything. I'm a big Pink Floyd fan, though. So.
Guilty pleasure era.
Yep.
The Marshall.
Okay, here. Dark Angel, Darkness Descends.
Oh, you didn't let me finish.
Oh, I'm sorry. Very good. I thought you were saying that his was a guilty pleasure or something.
No,
My
I
bad.
got a guilty pleasure, and that's the Marshall Mathers LP, because it's the only Eminem's fucking CD that I've listened to that I've not actually skipped a track or turned off because it was actually quite enjoyable.
That's probably my favorite Eminem CD too.
The only thing Eminem related I like is Candy, so I stick with that. But trying to think. I don't know. Yeah, I'll go with Dark Angel, Darkness Descends. Outside of the Judas Priest, fucking Painkiller. Oh man, damn
The
it.
only metal record that really does that for me would have to be Death's Sound of Perseverance.
Damn it, you're sort of in my head. I was actually going to say Scream Bloody Gore because I heart that album.
Scream Bloody Gore, I think there's a few dry moments in it, but that's why I really think that at least that album is the seminal Death record. You know, I mean, right before Chuck Schuldin's, pardon me, Death, but you know.
Yes.
I've always been more of a Leprosy fan than
Oh,
Scream
that's
Bloody
a good one too. That's a good one.
Yeah.
We could sit here and talk about Death. Death is one of those bands where if you just say like spiritual healing, oh yeah.
Till I'm blue in the face, I could talk about Death.
There's
Yeah.
one that I fancied Symbolic a lot.
Symbolic was a good one. Human was a good one. They're all good.
Crystal Mountain.
Oh, dude,
Hey.
Crystal Mountain is just one of the best tunes they ever made. Period.
Yeah.
I love that song so very much. I remember the first time hearing it, I made myself sick of it within fucking weeks because I kept going back to that song. So I was like, I really want to listen to that. But it just their entire catalog is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Not a bad Death album in my opinion.
No,
See, there
they
you
have
go.
zero.
There we go.
And you know what? I want to
And-
say something. Since I can take the floor anytime I want right now. I'm going to say this. Jim, do you know who Paul Masvidal is?
Paul Masvidal. I can't say yes,
Yeah.
I do.
He sings for a band called Cynic. Have you heard of Cynic?
I know of Cynic. I don't think
I just want to go on record. Anybody who's heard of Cynic, Paul Masvidal is a fucking asshole. Anyway,
Nice.
I thought I'd take that time to just throw that out there. But perfect albums, there's not really that many out there. I'm trying to think of outside the metal genre, and I can't really think of one.
Yeah, the only one I could think
this is
of
kind of
outside of the metal genre was the Marshall Mathers LP because it's actually one of the only Eminem sound, single CDs, whatever. Pretty cool.
Well, one of my favorite bands of all time is a band called Mr. Bungle, which was like the side band of the lead singer from Faith No More, Mike Patton. And they only released 3 fucking albums, but in my eyes, like all 3 of those albums are perfect.
I don't know, man. California kind of sucks.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. I love all 3. I mean, most people will say that Disco Volante is the one that's shitty, but I think that fucking album's just brilliant.
The
It's
first
crazy.
album is fantastic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was the first album, I'm convinced, first album that ever used samples from the NES.
Oh god, yeah, dude. Well, I like how all 3 of their albums sound completely fucking different from one another.
Oh, they're all very different, yes.
So-
Unlike a Korn album, it sounds exactly the same as the first album to the current album.
Stop bringing up
Yeah.
Korn. I'll give you $1.
No, you don't need to give me $1. I'm just on about at least they don't sound like that.
Well, I see your point.
Yeah.
I see your point.
Because a Korn song, you hear one Korn song from 1994, it sounds exactly the same as a Korn song from 2004. So
That's what I
Yeah,
mean.
you're right.
Korn's an interesting band in that all their shit sounds the same, but it still gets progressively worse as time goes on. So, I don't know how
Well,
that
no, the
works.
difference is it was a bad idea initially whose novelty has worn off.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
See, you know what? That's why you don't want to ask us about music, because we just end up bad. There's going to be a bunch of people really sad. It's like, but Jonathan Davis had cancer.
So
Well, I don't know if that's true, but I hope he has cancer.
the guy tattooed HIV on his arm.
Okay, I hope he has HIV too. I really hope he dies a slow, painless death.
Oh wait, fuck it. I'm tossing 2 more into this ring because goddamn it, I can. Torture Killer, Swarm, and Cannibal Corpse Kill. Fuck yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Really?
Dude, one Kill is by far my favorite album from them. That's really the truth. It's just when that came out, I was like, goodness gracious, this is amazing, and my erection is everlasting. And then something of a gory mess.
You'd say?
Absolutely.
So,
And the Torture Killer Swarm album, it's just like I have fucking friends that aren't even into death metal and they like that album and they like all the songs on it. It's just I don't know, I just like that one a lot.
it's a great album. I hate to defend Chris Barnes, but I like that album a lot.
Chris Barnes, complete and utter fucking douchebag, but when he's being like I'm an awesome singer, he usually knocks shit out of the fucking park, and that's one of those cases where he did. It was just I don't know. Yeah, I could never get into the pig squealing parts because he's just like, I'm sucking on that. It just
he
always
did break
sounded
the big
silly.
squeals, yeah, and then hardcore music happened, and suddenly I want everyone killed.
Yeah, it's
So
just-
those are the perfect albums in the Hate-Bit catalog. I think we got time for one more piece of mail. Or do we have something else to say about perfect albums?
No, I'm.
No.
See, I knew it. We got plenty of time. We got time for one more here. This piece of mail comes to us at the YouTube inbox from YouTube user King Mula 2, who I think has dropped a line with us before once or twice, which is why I said his name, King Mula 2. And he says, of all the Final Fantasy games released on the PlayStation 1, which one is the best? I have no idea. So, does anybody like Final Fantasy games on the PlayStation 1?
I do, but no one will like my answer.
No. Well,
I mean, that's what I mean. I'm tempted to say Final Fantasy VIII, but somebody's gonna snipe me through my fucking window if I fucking say that shit.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
But if they just tuned in just for Final Fantasy VIII, they might be planning to shoot you right now.
I know, that's what I mean, dude. I like that game, man. People love to diss on that game. It's like the thing to do, but whatever,
Dude,
man. To me,
I liked the game after it initially came out. I swear I didn't like it when it first released, and I played it again. I was like, it's not that bad.
it's really not. It's a Final Fantasy game that you don't have to fucking grind constantly in order to fucking play it.
Yeah, that's a good thing about it, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to grind to get the fucking magic you need too.
Yeah.
The game,
you basically get all your little grinding things out in the beginning, and you're good to go for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So,
Also, it gave you a reason to have a pocket station.
Indeed.
You're talking to one of the suckers. I was just like, pocket station? We're not getting one here? That's my birthday present. Import that bitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, a reason to have one.
If I had to pick a favorite Final Fantasy game on PS1, I'd probably go with Chocobo Racing.
That's actually a good answer. It's a good answer, actually. I'll give you that.
So damn fun.
It's like the Mario Kart for PlayStation. Until
It is,
Crash
it's
Team
fucking
Racing
great.
came out.
You've got a Chocobo on these like little inline skates with jets on them, and you're racing. It's fucking awesome.
There we go.
See, that's it, and they say that we're not thorough right here on the Hate-Bit podcast. I say they're full of shit.
Oh no.
Fuck.
Myself, Final Fantasy 9 because I like the story better and the whole idea of limited battles. Limited battle strategies with each character.
That game is a fucking slow burn, though, man.
It's a slow burn, yeah, and it does get to the dragon stages quite easily, but it's a lot more in depth than Final Fantasy 7 was.
True.
Even Final Fantasy 8. Final Fantasy 8, you felt like you wanted to cut your fucking own wrists when you were playing that.
Dude, Final Fantasy 9 though, it made you like look at the summons like, god damn, are they awesome?
Oh yeah.
Like on such a level, like Alexander coming out the first time, like those big fucking wings came out. I was just like, oh my god, Alexander is way cooler than I thought. I thought he just looked like a moving castle or some shit. That's sweet.
I thought it was a fucking tank when I first saw him, but then when you actually use him in 9, he was like, wow.
Oh, dude, Bahamut. Like, I swear nothing touches Bahamut. Even though Tiamat technically would just fucking stomp poor Bahamut in the grand scheme of, like, the dragon ladder of being important, but still, Bahamut's pretty badass stuff.
Oh, yeah. So, Final Fantasy 9. Final Fantasy 7, I'll give an honourable mention because it was, like, my first RPG, but it's not my favourite Final Fantasy game on the PS1.
I'll be the one in the room to be like, 7, Final Fantasy 7. Oh,
yeah. 7 was the only one I managed to finish because the other two were just kind of boring me to tears. I couldn't get in the story of 8, and 9 just a bit slow moving for me. But 7 I was able to finish, but the other two I couldn't finish. So 7 for me. As far as like the main Final Fantasy titles go, I'll go with 7.
Is 7 like the only thing that really bothers me about 7 now is like it is definitely a centerpiece for arguing because people are just like I swear it's the game. It's cool to hate Final Fantasy 7 because it's the popular Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Like it's funny because I've come across people like legitimately they were like fuck that game. And I was like, well, why do you hate it? They're like, oh, it's so overhyped. I'm like, well, I mean, like, what about the game itself do you not like? They never played it. They couldn't actually tell me anything without just fucking fumbling over their words. I mean, I don't like when games are overhyped either. They get on my fucking nerves to no end. But when you look at, like, what gaming was like back then, a lot of games didn't get overhyped. This was, like, when gaming was getting big, and it was one of the first, like, to put it like as a fucking centerpiece of gaming in general, and it was a reason to own a PS1 back then. Shit was fucking nuts. Is it a perfect game? By no means, but I have a lot of good memories of that game, despite how fucking broken and flawed it is. It's pretty fucking awesome.
It has an excellent fucking soundtrack. If anything, the soundtrack is
oh
worth
yeah.
it.
Dude, and that's literally like I can look up on the shelf. I own like 5 game soundtracks, and Final Fantasy VII was the very first one I ever bought because it was one of those games I was humming the song like outside of playing the game. Well, after I had played it, I'm just like sinner, going along with all of them. And I mean, One Winged Angel. Like, there isn't a single motherfucker like in the world of gaming that hasn't heard Sephiroth's fucking song when he comes down ready to fuck you up. So that right there is pretty... That and the Advent Children remix of that, the heavy metal version. Oh my god, I love that one. That shit is amazing. Heart. But yeah, 7 definitely all the way for that. And Yellkaos, you haven't really gone into any of the PS1 or Final Fantasies, huh?
No, they suck. Who cares?
Somebody else.
See, there you go. He picks none of them because they can suck a dick.
Suck a big dick.
I think people wouldn't hate Final Fantasy so much, Final Fantasy VII that is, if there weren't so many people that love it so much, and if there weren't so many spin-offs, perhaps.
Yeah,
I'm just tired of hearing about all these fucking assholes who want it remade. It's like, go play the old one, you asshole.
I mean, the thing is, it's kind of hard for it not to want to be remade, especially after they use it as a tech demo. It's fully remade. And they're like, oh, and by the way, it's not happening. So anyway, on with the show. Why is everybody booing us? What the fuck? Like, that kind of shit. That's beyond, like, blue balling somebody. That's, like, choking them out and shit. It's terrible. But, I don't know. It is true, though. That poor game, it got all of its flack because it pretty much was their best-selling one. And, like, it's kind of funny because Square Enix came forward and they're like, yep, the Final Fantasy that has made us the most money is Final Fantasy XI. After being out for like how many fucking years and people paying for it monthly, it now has given us more money than that one that we brought out in 1997. Cool.
Oh yeah.
Fucking idiot.
I thought that shit was fucking funny. It's like what? How many years has Final Fantasy XI been out? Like close to a decade.
Nearly a decade. 2004.
Came out.
Okay, so close to a decade, and it's finally their best-selling Final Fantasy, and people pay for it monthly. Way to go! That's something to brag about.
Well, I still see Final Fantasy VII going for like £20 or £30 in just in the wild at least.
Yeah, dude, people they're paying. Actually, the Final Fantasy VII PC game goes for the most now. That one, because it's not very common to find, except for they released it digitally, but I swear motherfuckers still don't know that shit exists.
Well, apparently there's still a lot more up until like the re-releases on the PSN really killed that game's price though on the PS1 market.
Dude, but there's no reason for it to even be chalked up that much. That, like, I don't know if you guys have seen, but the Pokemon games, I'm talking like red, yellow, blue, like the original shit. If you find one of those in a box, people are like basically like, you can have my firstborn. Hell, you can have my secondborn. I'll knock up whoever you want, and you can have that kid. It's cool. Just give me that game. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. And these games, there's millions of them. We're not talking like it's something you're never gonna find. I'm talking like they were everywhere. There's a reason why it was called like a poke craze and a phenomenon. Like it was everywhere. And if something is called the best-selling Final Fantasy, that means that there's a lot of them. Like, over 10 million. It means it's pretty common. It's just fucking silly, man.
Well, I was looking on eBay today actually at Pokemon games on the first generation Pokemon games, and I saw an advert for the Pokemon Game Boy Color that they had, the yellow one with the blue buttons and the Pichu and Pikachu on the LCD protector screen. They had that with the 3 first generation games fully boxed for £125, and that was on a bid with no bids. So imagine what that's going to fucking go up to.
I mean, dude, it just gets fucking ridiculous. I don't understand why that stuff happens. I swear that people they'll see one person post it on eBay for like $900, and they're like, this must be worth money. So then everybody follows suits, and everybody fucking is under the mentality that this game is worth a lot of money. So they just randomly skyrocket the value. I swear, if somebody just had like a fuck ton of eBay accounts and a fuck ton of copies of a particular game, they could run up the value of it and then make tons of bank, assuming it actually falls into place, just like it seems with everything else.
Yeah. But just sticking with the overhyped bloody eBay prices, somebody sent me a link to a Tengen NES Power Pack, the AC adapter, and it was graded. The price was actually marked on a buy it now with best offers as well for $45,000.
Good lord.
For a bloody power pack.
Just so everybody knows, I'm just shaking my head right now. I know that doesn't convey very well audibly, but
terrible.
Oh, dude,
I'll say this right now. I fucking hate grading in games. I hate it.
The VGA, video game graders.
Yeah, I fucking despise them on every single level. And I don't ever want to fucking hear, you're just mad because you can't afford it. I will fuck every family member that you love dearly. And I will impregnate them. Okay,
even the boys,
and I'll kill the ones you don't like.
Exactly. Here's the thing. Look, a game is meant to be played. It's meant to be entertained by it. You don't just grade it, put it inside of a fucking box so it can't be played. Like it's not a fucking museum piece. Okay, it just doesn't fucking make sense. I hate when they do that, and every time it's graded, they put it like in the thousands every fucking time. What numbskull is really buying a graded video game? Like, it's just, it fucking confuses me, man.
That's okay. I'll just play it. I'll just play it on my Nesticle for free.
There you go.
But the thing is, it's a $45,000 fucking AC adapter made by Tengen of all people. It's fucking stupid.
Oh, dude, I just read that they had somebody found a sealed copy of Air Raid on the Atari. And it was like in storage, and they found a sealed copy of it. Like, well, not really sealed; it was in the box and everything. And this is a super rare Atari game. And this guy ended up selling it for like over $35,000 on fucking eBay. Just total madness, dude. Like, there's somebody stumbling across it in a fucking storage case.
God, what do they do? Pay him in Confederate money or something? Yeah, where are people getting this fucking money from, man?
Yeah,
people with too much money.
Be broke.
Must be all those assholes who fashion their house look like a fucking castle.
Possibly.
Anyway, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Hate-Bit Cunt Bag because, that's about enough cunting for a little while. It's time to get into the rest of the show. And we thank you for joining us. So please feel free.
You forgot to plug our sponsor.
Huh? Oh, yeah, that's right. Don't forget to pick yourself up some of the AlphaOmegaSin UltraBalm so you can get some AlphaOmegaSin all over your lips. Is that what you wanted?
There we go. No,
we got to do that sort of thing. Yeah. We got to pay the bills around here somehow.
Yeah, we got to honor our contract.
I know. Well, we got bills to pay around here. I mean, the Hate-Bit T-shirts don't pay for everything around here.
Not yet.
So anyway, and we hope to have some of those just in time for the holiday season. We probably won't, but we hope to. So there's that. Anyway. Today, this week, here on the Hate-Bit Podcast, the mighty Yellkaos, I have some advice before we get too far along into our show. I have some advice for 53-year-old, 22 cans project developer, game designer, 53-year-old, Peter Molyneaux. Sir, I've heard what you said in recent weeks, and you've had a lot to say about basically anything, and if you just do this for me and everybody else, shut the fuck up. Really? You old fuck. You're older than my dad. And my dad knows dick about games, so where do you think that puts you? You made one fucking game, like 10 years ago? And 20. 20,
30.
Fuck this guy. Really? I mean...
Somebody really needs to take away his fucking talking privileges.
Somebody really needs to fucking... Oh, God.
All right, Nick. If anybody in the Hate-Bit world meets this Peter Molyneaux, gladly put your hand in his mouth, pull out his tongue, and slam his jaw onto a fucking table. Please.
Like we were discussing before the podcast, I can't believe anybody would take this guy seriously. after he releases Fable and talks this game up as the second coming of Christ. And I remember it like it was yesterday, him talking, oh man, the grass is going to grow in real time, and oh, your character's going to age, and oh, it's just going to be this and that. And it comes out, and it's like, yeah, you failed to mention that this is going to be a pretty good RPG game. You talked this up pretty good, motherfucker. And it's like he does that with every fucking game he releases. And it's just like, he thinks, like I said before the podcast too, he thinks he's Shigeru Miyamoto.
He is not.
He is not. He does not have that pedigree. He has not earned it.
And his face is not nearly shiny enough.
He might actually get a fucking pedigree if he keeps fucking going, though. Jesus.
Oh my
But
god.
he needs to have
I don't
something
think
to
that
say
Pete
about
is-
everything.
I was gonna say I don't think that Petey can actually smile for nearly as long as Shigeru Miyamoto can.
No, but he's fucking hell. If his,
It's impossible.
if his head
It's
gets
like-
any bigger, he might start growing grass on it, though.
He needs to grow something on it, goddammit. But Peter Molyneaux, I mean, he seems to, over the last couple of weeks, has had something to say about fucking everything.
Oh,
You know, he
no.
fails to see, what's so creative and enticing about the Wii U, and he doesn't understand that he went right along with whoever that faggot was that said that consoles are done, and now he's out here and he's telling us that he's only making one more game. Well, I have to say this: thank God.
Thank fucking God.
If you
I only-
don't he's I guess he's assuming he's going to retire. It's like, don't you threaten me with a good time. I can't wait till you get the fuck out of here. But,
Yeah, but-
I mean, I think he's the only one.
Well, if you remember last year when they said Miyamoto might be retiring and Nintendo's stock plummeted, just think what would happen to Microsoft stock if Peter Molyneux
Peter
retired.
Molyneux
It would go
retired.
up.
It would go up.
I say, yeah, exactly. Everything would go up.
Oh, that'd be a cool, a nice date in gaming. Peter Molyneux's retirement, and everybody
Yeah.
starts having street parties, just like back in the 50s.
Well, fucking Peter Molyneaux, he apologizes for his games so much. I think he owes a few of us a sexual favor.
Oh, I definitely deserve a blowjob after fucking Fable 3, man. Let me tell
Oh,
you.
fucking hell! I needed a lobotomy after playing that fucking.
Jesus Christ.
I was so disappointed in that game because I
I'm
was
surprised you didn't need one beforehand.
I was expecting Fable 2 with a bit more oomph, but it wasn't Fable 2 with a bit more oomph. It was Fable 2 with nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
It was Fable
It's just
2
this
with
slight
nothing.
sucking sound in the background.
Yeah, actually, you might as well have just give you a fucking lollipop for that fucking game because you had to be a fucking sucker to play it. I was a sucker
The
to
game was so easy and mind-numbing, it might as well have fucking played itself.
I completed it in 2 fucking days.
Yeah,
That's how short it was.
it was
And you
pathetic.
have and also I know that you at times have the attention span of a moth.
Yeah. You were saying?
So Peter Molyneux is nice and full of shit.
He's just full of shit, full stop. Ever since he made Populous, that was it. He's just like, I made
I know. You
Populous.
know what he's going
I
to do?
made
He's just going to
Populous.
retire and take over for Pactor. That's exactly what they've got set up for him. You just know it.
Ugh. I think Pac-2 will powerbomb him.
I mean, Peter Molyneux, to me, especially after he retires.
Pac-bomb! Sorry.
Oh, there you go. Peter Molyneux, I think he's going to turn into like the Jimmy Carter of video gaming. Like, some extinct, fucking, obsolete opinion because he's old,
He's still got the opinions of 1989 in his head.
If he were, he'd be churning out decent products, Mr. Magnus.
Oh, hey, he's making that excellent game Curiosity, though. Where you just chip
Yeah,
away at a cube.
He had to change the name of that to something else.
Oh, yeah, I remember I was reading about that. It just made me laugh even more. It should have just been called Waste of Time, or Ripoff, or Pointless, or Why Bother? Oh, wait, he didn't really bother. You can tell just from looking at the game. It's fucking sad.
Well,
Peter
God.
Molyneux. Peter
Well,
Molyneux is overcompensating. He's like the guy with the small dick driving the fucking sports car, thinking he's badass.
What do you mean, the lifted truck?
The lifted truck. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I can't be doing with Peter Molyneux, so Peter Molyneux, fuck you from a fellow Brit.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
It's a
Yeah.
shame.
So, you know what? I think we should use some. We should use a play out of the AlphaOmegaSin book and fuck yourself sideways with a dump truck.
Absolutely.
I like that. That's class right there.
That's all I'm about. And if somebody's gonna fuck himself with something, then it should be something absurd in scale, and that would fit
And
up his ass
sideways.
because apparently there's lots of people inside of it anyhow.
Hey.
But don't forget sideways.
Badonka-donk.
Sideways. Because if you just driving in regularly, no, that's just too common.
I know. It's far too. I mean, it needs sort of a Kama Sutra vibe. Anyway,
Where do you get this shit from?
it's in this book.
It's in that book. Where's that train coming from?
It's
Is that in the
they
book
heard
as well?
what I said.
Is that in the book as well?
That was. You know, this is a fantastic book. It's jokes and trains. It's planes, trains, automobiles.
Yeah, can I ask
Great, and
you a
get it.
serious question? It's not the
Yes.
Sony Wonder book, is it?
No, it's the hate.
Oh god.
Sorry, I just had to.
It's true. It's new for this holiday season. It's the official hate book. You get it, and all this. You get it all over your face. I don't know.
A hate book.
I
It
almost
interacts with you. It punches you in the face every time you have a dumb fucking idea.
Yeah,
There you go.
it rubs your balls, fixes your pancakes, and so on. Anyway, breaking news. Breaking news right here. Halo 4 will not make it to the personal computer, according to Microsoft market reps. Isn't that true, Saint Magnus?
Yes, it certainly is. They've gone on record this week by saying that they're not going to put ports Halo 4 to the fucking PC, which is not a fucking surprise considering they didn't port the last 3 fucking Halo games to the bloody PC. Hang on, 4 Halo games to the PC, sorry. So that's pretty much all I've got to say on the matter, but I'm sure other people have got opinions on this, so shoot, go for it. Let's hear it.
Oh, it really does not surprise me. After the big brouhaha, they're talking about fucking not letting people do Halo videos and stuff and monetize them, and trying to do this big monopoly over everything Halo 4 recently. So it doesn't surprise me that they wanted to stick with the 360 and just have this one last hurrah with the 360, and not have it on the PC and try to take the spot, because this is all the 360 has this holiday season. I mean, this is it.
Oh no!
So they don't want to take the spotlight off of that.
And not just a last hurrah, their only hurrah, because they really
their
don't got
only-
other shit planned at all, and E3 proved that.
I'm just looking through to see what Xbox actually have this year, and
Well, think about it. They thought they were being cutting edge by saying we have a South Park game coming.
Even though it's going to be on other systems.
Yeah, isn't it delayed now? It's not going to make it out for the holiday season or something like that.
there's a whole shitload of shit.
Yeah, I think that
yeah.
it's what, January or February, some shit like that.
Yeah, it's just seems to me, Microsoft, you need all the sales you can get. Are you afraid that it might be played on a Sony Vaio PC or something?
We don't want your games playing on this. I'm off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really give a shit about Halo either way, because let's face it, it's like Doom fucks Star Trek. So not that that's a terribly bad thing or anything, but
I actually think that'd be cool. William Shatner running around as the fucking Doom guy. That sounds amazing to me.
Actually, I was hoping for Leonard Nimoy myself.
Well,
Better yet, no, fuck that. George Takei. George Takei running around. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
so he's going to shoot everything fabulously.
Fabulous.
Yes. He'll do it with one pinky up because he's that fancy.
And that fucking classy. I don't know, man. The new Halo, admittedly, that was the thing that Microsoft had to show off that I thought looked pretty fucking cool. And it's kind of nice that they had a new team going into it. Out of the entire podcast, I've played the first and second one. That's really about it. I'm not a big Halo person. If it's in front of me, I'll give it a shot and I'll fucking run around and shoot some shit and everything. But the fact that I don't have a 360 is kind of helping the fact that I can't really get into the series. But it's nice to see that apparently everybody's so into it again. It's kind of like a resurgence for the series back to Halo 1 and 2 standards again, since fans really haven't been all that fucking happy, except for the diehards, which will say each one is painted in fucking gold and will blow you endlessly.
My brother bought the game, and I've actually been enjoying it. I think it's actually kind of funny that 343 Industries comes out and kicks Bungie's ass on the first fucking try. You know,
Dude,
that's
I like the
hilarious.
fact that it's like a lot darker of a game, more story centric, and just overall, it seems like they probably had a better grasp of it because they got to look at it from the outside.
But it's the second Halo game they've done, because the first game they did was Halo Wars, which, to be fair, it was a good entry, but it wasn't a great game all in all.
Isn't that the RTS one?
Yeah, that was the RTS one.
Dude,
Oh,
that
so that-
one doesn't count. That one's fucking weird.
So that's why I didn't play that one.
Yeah.
RTS.
Because it's 343 that actually made that. So
Yeah, I mean that it's like
Helpful
an
tidbit there.
RTS of something is just I don't know. It's an RTS of a first-person shooter. It's kind of iffy. I'm sure there's people out there who liked it. I never gave it a whirl, so I don't know diddly dick about it. Just other than the fact that I'd much rather play Halo 4 than Halo RTS.
yes,
Halo. When's the Halo dating simulator coming out?
I don't know. I'm waiting for the first-person version of Cooking Mama, where she throws saucepans at vegetables.
I don't know. Nintendogs and Halo seems like a good idea. Take care of your own little Master Chief because he's just shitting himself endlessly. I said the word endlessly quite a few times now. I will use limitlessly. I have no clue, but no, that would suck really bad. You have a Master Chief who's crippled from battle, and you have to go and take care of him. Empty out his bedpan, change his diapers. Poor motherfucker. These things happen. Up, you got to change his catheter. All right, tilt the controller around. Up, you got the Kinect version. This is going to get a lot more awkward for everybody in the room. So, yeah.
Just make a kart racer out of it. That's the sure money right there.
Yeah, there we go. Fuck it. We got the
wrestlers
kart
need
racer.
guns, don't you think?
Yeah,
Don't you find?
like, incredibly so. Yeah.
We need
I've never
Carmageddon
played-
again. We need Carmageddon.
There you
It's
go.
coming. It's coming.
You know, for
Carmageddon.
some reason, this all just reminded me of that retarded fucking Twisted Metal wannabe of the WWF characters. Was it Crush Hour?
Oh crap!
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, you gotta be the only person in the world that remembers that fucking game.
I remember seeing that on the shelf, and I was like,
There's-
"Oh my god!"
There's gonna be like 6 people listening right now, like, oh my god, I remember that. Why did you say that? Like,
No,
yeah, 'cause-
I remember like they have don't they have the Rock? The Rock is in one of the cards with his eyebrow up, the people's eyebrow. Oh god, I'm imagining
Yeah,
too
'cause
many
when I
bad
think of
things.
professional wrestling, I think of car combat immediately. I don't know about you guys.
Well, let's put it this way: at the time, it's better than half the shit you see on Raw nowadays. So at least it's a good
I
game.
was gonna say, dude, yeah, the idea of a WWF kart racer is better than their fucking entire story team put together. Like, they seriously wouldn't be able to fucking light up one light bulb with all their fucking thoughts. They're fucking depressing. But aside from that, yeah, Halo 4 and stuff. Haha.
Halo 4, I
Just
believe
staying
it's
on
got a good
topic.
story though. I've heard it's got a really good story this time
It
around.
does. It does. Like I
343
said,
done it justice.
like I said in my review of it, it actually has a story. Like, it has so much of a story, you realize that the other games did not have any fucking story at all. You know, like
No one
this.
bought it for the story. Everyone bought it so they could stand on a fucking rock and shoot people in the back of the head as they came out of a cave.
It does
And
that too.
teabag them.
It does that too.
The only
Teabag.
thing is the multiplayer good.
It is, man. It's weird. Like, it feels, it's like, you know, it's like an old high school friend you haven't seen in fucking forever. And yeah, he's a loser, but he's fun to hang out with every now and then. You know what I mean? Make yourself feel better about
you
yourself.
Forgot why you hated?
Exactly.
Ah.
That's it, man.
But the thing is, if Halo
Like,
hasn't got a
just
good
kick the fuck out of
multiplayer,
this guy, but I can't remember why.
if
Yeah.
Halo hasn't got a good fucking multiplayer, then you might as well just not bother. Because Halo 1 made you, take your Xboxes round to your friends to connect them up to play fucking deathmatch. Then you got Xbox Live to play Halo 2 deathmatch again, and then I think Xbox Live wouldn't be where it is if it wasn't for Halo. Yeah, Halo is also the cause of why we've got 2 weapons in a fucking first-person shooter game, and why Duke Nukem Forever didn't do as well as it should have done. There we go.
Oh, dude, I mean, the only reason we even have Xbox is because of Halo.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
it.
like before the show started,
thought
everybody,
it was
we
just
were
a
actually
flavor,
talking
man.
about, we were talking about the relevance to Halo, to the actual Xbox brand.
Yeah.
And that if anybody heard that noise, that was my cat skidding across the kitchen. But
You got
anyway.
to stop feeding him nitrous.
Dude, he just like she just flipped the fuck out. But anyhow, so without Halo, like seriously, the Xbox would have died within like a fucking month or some shit. Like it seriously would have. But as soon as it went out there, everybody knew what Halo was. The Xbox was a must-have thing, and online gaming was actually relevant to console gamers all of a sudden. Pretty big fucking deal.
Well,
Yeah.
when I first heard of Halo, it was like 2001. The Xbox had just come out. I didn't even follow Microsoft making a console, and the only Halo that I was really thinking of at the time was Soil's Halo, and so you can pretty much understand what my mindset was at the time. But when I first played Halo, the thing that I remember the most was it was the demo, and it was the demo where the level. You're flying in the back of the Pelican, and you're coming into land doing that beach landing thing. You got all these elites and grunts coming running at you. That section of the game just made me want to buy an Xbox and play the whole thing. And lo and behold, I did buy an Xbox, and I did play the whole thing, and I fucking loved it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you had an Xbox and didn't have Halo, you were just retarded. Like, I don't even know what was wrong with, what is wrong with you?
It's like having a Mega Drive or a Genesis and not having one Sonic game on there somewhere.
Yeah.
Dude, I still remember when... Oh, here, go ahead, Jim.
I had Halo, but I only played it for maybe an hour or so, just because Halo 2 was coming out, and I wanted to maybe see what all the hype was about, but I didn't care for Halo. I think the only reason I bought a Xbox to begin with was it came with like a free copy of Jet Set Radio Future, so I was like, oh, I'll get this.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
You mean you didn't buy it for the bitchin' DVD player?
No, I didn't. I already had a PlayStation 2.
See.
No, the Xbox, man, it's still to this day like one of the coolest fucking multiplayer consoles I can think of. 4 controller ports and just toss in some shit like Time Splitters Future Perfect. Yeah, good night. I'll be gone for like 2 days now. That shit's fucking
plus
awesome.
you can mod the fuck out of it. That was like a big
yeah.
thing back then too, is modding the hell out of it.
Dude, and it can emulate like everything. I've watched one run PS1 games without even fucking blinking at all. It's running like Neo Geo, Nintendo, Game Boy, fucking everything. It didn't even matter, but it's pretty fucking cool. Plus, actually, speaking of Halo, I remember a couple episodes we were talking about the limited edition Halo 4 Xbox 360, the one that's like actually see-through and everything. It's really fucking cool looking. Like really fucking cool looking. I got to see one in person. I was like, dude, that's really badass. Normally I'm not all for limited editions because I don't really give a shit about them because I could just find a modded case or something, but that one looked pretty badass, as did the original Xbox, the Halo green one that was like transparent green.
Oh yeah.
That looked really fucking badass. I still preferred the Kasumi blue one, which was only in Japan, unfortunately, but still, it was pretty damn
Yay.
cool.
A see-through 360, so now you can see inside how cheaply made it actually is.
See, and if it was the original version, you could actually watch the guts go and cave in on themselves as your 360 dies. Watch it flatline the right way.
Wasn't there a Mountain Dew Xbox?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, except for that one's fucking ugly as shit. It's like lime skittle green in color and hurts your eyes. Like I have light sensitive eyes, and I have to look at that bitch with sunglasses in a fucking like dark room. And it's awkward.
Oh yeah, I saw it at the Classic Gaming Expo. I was like, what did you do? Bring this to a rave?
Just fucking start waving it around, assuming you're strong enough.
You're just expecting it to, as soon as you turn it on, it starts blowing a whistle in your face or something.
I know, it's pretty goddamn loud. But yeah, Halo 4, not going on the PC.
Not going on the PC, but it's on the Xbox, and if you can get it on
Yeah,
Xbox.
if you got an Xbox, go get it. Fuck it. What else have you got to look? If you're an Xbox owner, what else do you have to look forward to this holiday season?
Call of Duty, Black Ops.
Smart glass.
Smart glass.
Yeah, smart glass. That's what I've been working my shit over. Oh yeah.
Oh, bet you have.
You don't even need to buy. You don't even need to buy a Microsoft certified bloody tablet. You just download it off the Android market or some other fucking download fucking service that comes with the tablets and just use that.
It's smart glass. Basically, turn everything into a remote control because you're lazy. The end.
Yeah.
Indeed.
No kidding, right? You push this button, the shower comes on. Anyway, as we approach the end of the first half, we're getting towards halftime here, and the halftime's where we'll have 8-Bit Ball Bag. But first, it's time. It has to be said. It has to be done. We're doing it right now. The official Hate-Bit podcast reaction to the Angry Video Game Nerd movie trailer. For more, we go directly to Silent Rob, who has been busting my fucking balls this whole time. Says, we got to talk about this. Did you hear about this? Fuck Mike Matei, and so on. So, Silent Rob, let us know. What's up, man? Why do you hate it so much? And I agree with you, but, tell the people, tell the nice people what you think.
Well, let me start off by saying money well spent. Let me just go ahead and start by saying that. Money well spent. And a lot of people will say, and I said this in my video too, like, well, but Rob, what did you expect out of an hour and a half Angry Video Game Nerd movie? You can't really do a review for an hour and a half. Well, I guess in that case, I'm not disappointed. But on this, in the same vein, like people are talking, well, Silent Rob, $300,000, $400,000. A lot of people want to say $300,000 to make this movie, but it was actually a lot more than that to make this fucking movie. But people fail to remember movies like Clerks that were made for $27,000, El Mariachi that was made for fucking $7,000. Movies that I don't even have to watch this new AVGN movie. I'm going to tell you right now, those movies are fucking better than this. I don't even have to watch the new movie. And, it's so predictable. Like, I've talked to several people that have told me pretty much the entire plot to this movie years before it even came out. And it's predictable. And if that's what people want, and if people are happy that they donated, then have at it. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to completely make fun of people the entire time liking this movie, because his fans are going to eat that shit up. They're going to love every second of it. And it's just a self-indulgent bullshit trailer. They're talking like he's in the trailer like he's the one true gamer, like the fucking like the AVGN is fucking Jesus Christ or something, and it's like,
talk about someone who's high from huffing their own bullshit. Dude,
exactly. Dude, the ego stroking in this fucking trailer is ridiculous. And it's just like, and then as soon as I seen Pat the NES Punk was in the fucking trailer, I was like, I'm done.
You're fucking kidding me.
That was my limit, dude.
Oh god, somebody's getting a chair shot. I swear, man.
Mike Matei.
Dude,
we'll get to Mike Matei in a moment. Well, I mean, and guys, feel free to agree with me or disagree with me on this, but I said something on the Hate-Bit Podcast Facebook page. I think, and I watched the trailer, I didn't want to. I avoided it. And then, goddamn Silent Rob has been making videos on the YouTube for what seems like, he had a reaction video out before I knew the trailer was out. I mean,
that was well planned. I definitely did that on purpose.
You were on that, man. You have that down pat. I will say that honestly. But I watched it, and it really, I don't see where the budget in this movie went, because it looks like, number one, it looks like it was filmed by the same people that filmed the Pat the NES Punk show.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I mean it looks like a really shitty Disney movie with James Rolfe and cursing in it.
Exactly.
I mean, it looks like they edited it together with fucking Sony Vegas or something.
Exactly. It's a $500,000 direct-to-fucking-video Disney movie.
Yeah.
Disney Channel movie. Or sci-fi movie. I said that in my fucking video, too. It's a fucking...
Don't you badmouth sci-fi movies.
Dude, I would rather watch fucking Alien Death Shark 12. I would rather
watch the last season of Sliders than watch this thing.
Alien Death Shark 13 or whatever's on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Substitute 18.
Oh God, dude! Like,
Sharktopus.
Yeah.
Did anybody else see it?
Yeah, I saw it because Rob pulled me up on Skype the other night saying, "Have you watched the trailer to the AVGN movie?" And I went, "No, not yet. I was gonna go and look it up." And then he showed me this really, really crappy fucking pixelated mess of a trailer. I'm like, what?
That was his reaction too. It was WHA. That was what it was. What?
I was like, what the fuck? I just didn't understand what the fuck was going on.
Well, the thing, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Mr. Magnus.
Well,
I just
wanted
to say this real quick. Is that
go on?
Just let me put this one out because I know it will be a bouncing point for you. I apologize, but when I heard the plot to this movie about the ET games out in the desert, when I heard like a few years ago when that was going to be kind of the plot, I'm like, wait, you actually wrote a movie around that premise?
Yeah.
Now you see what I was like. What? Why didn't he just review the fucking game?
Like, that's not a plot.
It's not a plot, dude.
This is a case for the Mythbusters or something.
Oh god, that is exactly right. Actually, that's a fucking good thing to say. You know,
That
the
would be a
Mythbusters
sweet
could have done
episode.
it.
That would be.
Well,
a good
people are
episode of
failing to
Mythbusters.
realize that. I think a lot of people don't really realize that the ET site where they bury these cartridges was cemented over like 20 fucking years ago. So it's not like you can go
30.
to this site and dig these fucking games up. You know, it's cemented over. You can't do it. There's nothing there.
It was 30 years ago, by the way, because it's what.
Wait.
2013 next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 30 fucking. But really, Rob, I'm disappointed in you. Are you putting research and James Rolfe into the same equation?
Oh, my bad.
You know,
Yeah.
I understand your feelings. Don't think I don't share. I want to share something with the Hater Nation right now. Hate fans, consider yourself lucky that you're not a friend of Silent Rob's, because this is all he has talked about for like the last goddamn week.
Oh no.
It's like, hey Rob, how's your mom? Fucking angry video game nerd movie. Rah!
Oh
Hey,
no.
the trailer's only been out for a day, and I've been talking about that shit for a week.
I know.
I know. Man, you are on top of things.
Yeah.
I commend you for it.
Well,
Yes.
basically, what he's done, he's sat us on a chair, tied us up, and he's done the whole Clockwork Orange thing and shown us this fucking shit for a week. And then when it comes out, I was avoiding this trailer until this weekend when Rolfe actually uploaded it onto his Cinemassacre fucking YouTube channel. And I watched it then, and I watched it in HD, and I was like, why? Why is the why?
This thing looks like it was shot on VHS.
I know.
Well, and then he's charging people $15. He rented out a theater and charged people $15 to see the trailer, just the trailer.
Well, how much fuck to see a movie now?
It's 15. It's £15 to go and see a 2D fucking movie in the UK. I'm like,
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like that's the cost of an entire fucking movie.
Wow.
To see a
But
trailer.
$15 is like, I mean, really? I mean, do you get something in your butt, or do you just get it dry?
But
I remember I was talking to Santa Magnus on Skype. I was texting Alpha on my phone at the exact same time, fucking telling him. So I know Alpha's got some shit to say about this too, for sure. What do you think, dude?
I think a lot. All right. First, I'm gonna make the comparison because I know other people have done it, and I did too. The Happy Console Gamer put out his movie without any kind of an issue other than uploading and everything. But he put out his movie, and it was fucking awesome. And he didn't do it with really any sort of budget. Just did it with his friends, and it turned out pretty fucking awesome. I commend him for it. I liked it a lot, personally. Now keep in mind, I've been watching Angry Video Game Nerd since I had a YouTube account.
Same here.
yeah,
I like his stuff. Some of his newer reviews, some of them are actually pretty okay. Granted, I prefer his older stuff. When I saw the trailer, initial complaint, the trailer is like 3 minutes and some seconds long. That's like double the length of what a trailer should be, and it pretty much sums up the entire movie for me.
Yeah.
So it's like watching a synopsis of the movie, just pretty much broken down, really small. I mean, other issues, I just don't know who the fuck all these extra characters are. They seem kind of dumb. The buddy guy, like his friend that's fucking driving with him and shit. I'm like, who the fuck is this schmuck?
You mean the token black guy?
Yeah,
I'm convinced. You've seen all these horror movies. The black guy always dies first. It's an unwritten rule. So I'm not being racist.
Wait a minute. Wait. They call me the racist, and never mind.
No, I'm not. I'm trying not to be racist here, but
You're trying, and you're not doing very well at all.
I don't care. But seriously,
Making black people die and so on.
it happens in the movies. Come on.
It's not even about. You'd think for $500,000 they could at least get one person that could act. Just one.
No. And what about the love interest? Jesus.
Yeah, see that kind of threw. You want to know what
Deus ex machina.
I had seen in the fucking comments, somebody had said something, and I was like, God damn, somebody reading my fucking mind. The biggest issue I have with the entire trailer, I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but this is what I thought, is that he didn't seem like he was being the nerd character. It seemed like James Rolfe was being James Rolfe dressed up as the angry video game nerd. And keep in mind, the nerd character is just, that's what it is. It's a character that he plays. This dude gets like fanatical and upset about video games, flips out about them, and then fights the likes of Bugs Bunny, Spider-Man, Freddy Krueger, Leatherface, Michael Myers, et cetera, et cetera. I really wish that he would have just done a horror movie and made up like, a fucking game that has never been unearthed, and it's a fucking horror game, because that's like his real true passion is horror movies. And I understand he's real big into filmmaking. This doesn't seem like an angry video game nerd.
Throughout the whole trailer, it seems like he has amnesia or something.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why
weird.
me? Well, you're the nerd. What?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of awkward. Like, I still plan on going and seeing it, because it's like, well, I've been watching it do this long, and I actually want to see the movie, and I'm not going to be one to say, this is going to be horrible without actually setting my eyes on it and seeing it and everything. And even if everybody's like, oh, you're a chump because you paid to see it, I don't care. I've seen worse. I've seen The Medallion, okay, and I paid to see that.
I saw Geely.
Yeah,
I saw the Star Wars.
Actually, to be fair, I saw 1/10 of Geely.
Wait, here, how about this? I saw Star Wars Episode 1 in theaters like 4 times. Keep in mind, I didn't pay once, but regardless. I just put it like this. Regardless of what any of us say, the only thing that we can really do is judge it after we see it. But I hope for the best. That's all I can say. Because I don't want to fucking hate James Rolfe. I don't want to hate the AVGN. I don't want to say it's all going to turn to shit. And even if this movie does suck, I'm still going to enjoy his older videos. So it doesn't fucking matter to me. And I just hope that he goes back to reviewing.
I think you can sum up this movie in 5 words: for the love of Pong.
Oh God.
Yeah, that term right there. Like, I've watched fucking Silent Rob's video about this, and he had brought up for the love of Pong term, and that was one of those things. I was like, that was one of the dumbest fucking, really, like that was like your coup de grace. You were really going with this. Like, come on, man. I'm not a fucking screenwriter, but I'm pretty sure that I could throw together a script that's going to have something a lot funnier. The angry video game nerd should be saying something. What a miserable shitload pile of fucking donkey farts. What kind of dumb cunt-ridden piece of fucking faggotry bullshit is it? Like, something, a big string of nothing but obscenities put together with dicks, balls, shits, farts, and random animals, okay?
Indeed.
He doesn't say for the love of Pong. I'm sorry, but no. He didn't sound like the nerd. He didn't act like the nerd. I'm just hoping that there's like some big fucking highlights
That
where
really sounds like something an irate gamer would say.
Oh,
I was
God.
about ready to say that.
Oh God! No, let's not get onto the irate gamer, please. If he says I'm going to make a movie too, I'm going to fucking go down to wherever he is and shoot him in the fucking nuts.
Well, I don't
Watch
want
the
to plug
fucker
somebody else
bleed to
on this.
death. Watch the
Well, I don't
fucker
want to plug
bleed.
somebody else, but this movie really feels like that goddamn movie they did on that guy with the glasses.com. The suburban heroes or knights or whatever. It's got the exact same vibes. Like, you took an internet movie.
Well,
put it
technically, he
on
did use fucking Doug Walker's bloody team to do some of the filming anyway. So, yeah,
For the casting, they used them for the casting.
they used them for
I
the
know,
casting on the West Coast.
See, you know what? The New World Order consists of Cinemassacre.com and that guy with the glasses.com. I know it.
Pretty much.
I'm
And
ready
like
for
Al-
TV.
Well, and like Alpha, I'm going to see it, but I'm going to see it for the same reason I played through Duke Nukem Forever, to put that shit to bed, man. Okay? You just got to put it to bed. I have to do
I
it.
don't know, man. It might be one of those things that gets stuck in your brain forever and drives you crazy, and then we have to get somebody else on this show.
But there, just going
Think
back.
of your family. Think of the children.
Just going back to the nerd for just one little second before we start getting sidetracked again. The only thing that actually echoed classic nerd was when in the trailer they had their heads stuck in a fridge, and you just see James Rolfe sucking down on a bloody
Rolling Rock.
on a rolling rock. That was the only thing in that entire trailer really that echoed nerd.
Yeah, it really. I think you're right,
One
dude.
thing
That's
Echo Nerd was a product placement.
yeah.
Echoed nerd. I
Oh,
I mean,
wait a minute.
that is
Oh,
that
you
is
know how this.
something that
Oh, that's one of those Kickstarter things, right?
That's what I wonder. I wonder if it's actually going to be Rolling Rock or just a green bottle that says beer on it.
You know what I want to know? How much have Cheetah Men paid for this movie?
Oh.
Oh man.
Oh, we're not fucking dousing that old fucking flame, are we?
No, I don't mean to, but if you expect me to believe that he did that for free, you're out of your goddamn mind.
I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah, no
I
way.
think he took about 100 grand of that 325 he got off Indiegogo into his back pocket. I'm sure of it.
I think you're being a little generous and making him seem like a much nicer person than that. I'm pretty sure he made this movie for about 60 grand.
Yeah, but then Mike Matei got the rest. Oh, can we kick Mike Matei in the nuts as well?
You know what's funny? It's funny you say this. I'm going to talk about the nerd for just a minute. When he went away, made the news announcement he was going away. He's going to fly to the West Coast because apparently you can't film desert scenes anywhere except for Los Angeles, California.
Well, they do have a good desert.
No, we don't. I assure you. Anyway, you know, you could get a fucking green screen. Come on, are you kidding me? You know,
Come on, have you seen the green screen effects on that trailer? Good God.
That's my fucking point. But anyway, when Mike Matei took over his YouTube channel for a brief period there, and was doing whatever, I'm like, this is fucking boring. I'm going to unsubscribe. And then the nerd came back, and I'm like, I'm kind of yearning for Mike Matei now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because it's so prepackaged and manufactured now.
Dude, I mean, if you saw this trailer, if you were a person that didn't know really anything about the AVGN, you saw this trailer in a movie theater, you would think it was the most retarded fucking thing ever.
Well, we thought that would kick ass, though, didn't we, if you think about it?
Oh, my God.
I mean,
Go on.
If I could just throw my 2 cents in, I mean, I can't really hate on him or his project too much. I haven't contributed any money to it, so I don't really have anything lost here if it sucks or not. So I mean, until I've paid money for it, the guy could film himself taking a shit for an hour and a half, and I could really care less. But
that might be the movie. That might actually be the movie.
It might get at least a scene, But yeah, so I mean, I watched the trailer. It looked kind of, it was cheesy and goofy, but I wasn't really expecting much of anything. I mean, I guess as long as you have low expectations, you wouldn't be disappointed so much. But I suppose as long as I haven't thrown any money his way, I don't really give a shit if it sucks or not, frankly.
I mean, that's a good outlook on it, is because, I mean, I haven't donated a single dime. I figured my donation would be when I go to see it. There you go, you got my money. But, the one thing is that when you said about the expectations, a lot of people have absurdly high expectations of him just because of what he's done for the gaming community online, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not he
confused it and dumbfounded it.
I mean, whatever your perspective of it is, he's had a large impact. And that's something that nobody can really deny. There's people left and right that just started making videos, whether they were emulating him or just doing something video game related or just making videos for the fuck of it, because this dude was doing it too. And that's the thing, is that when, all you have to do is look at his subscriber base. There's a lot of them. I mean, fucking, hundreds and thousands of people see every single video, and people flock to him and like them. And the thing is, when he announces that he's going to do something of, movie caliber, I'm going to make a movie, your expectations become absurdly high, because now it's not, I'm not making just a random nerd review. No, I'm making a full-blown, feature-length movie. Now your expectations are like quadruple what they could ever be of an expected episode. And that's where a lot of people are getting bothered now, is because you want to see a lot better. You want to see a lot more. Just, I don't know. That's one of my thoughts.
Well, I mean, he has made like a huge impact on the online gaming community, but I mean, when you think about the reality of what his show is, it's just him and his friend filming in his basement. So, I mean, with that in mind, that's, I guess, why I have kind of low expectations for the flick, just because he's going from just filming himself playing NES games in his basement to making a movie. That's kind of a big leap, so I don't really have, like,
That's kind of the thing, like, with him, with his whole persona built upon this idea of him just hanging out, playing games, reviewing games, and I said it in my video that should he even be making a movie in the first place, based on the fact that the only funny parts of his videos are him playing the games, reviewing games that, you know, you hate as a kid, and it's fun to see people basically take the piss out of these games. And then, you know, every now and then there's a skit that you usually skip over. Like, always beating up Bugs Bunny for 45 minutes. Let's skip this and get back to the game. So it's like, yeah, do we really need an hour and a half of that?
That's the thing. It's just going to be an hour and a half of dick and fart jokes. And Bugs Bunny being shat on again.
Yeah, but I mean, how many movies have you watched up to this point in your life that have been nothing but 90 minutes of dick and fart jokes? I mean, probably quite a few.
It's probably a strong percentile.
Where were the dick and fart jokes in Bill and Ted?
I think it was practically every single fucking joke, I thought.
I mean, the movie has the potential to be really good. It's just that with the trailer, you know, it just leaves people asking more questions and getting actual answers.
Yeah, then he says, pay me $15 and you can find out.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's like I had said, I even left a comment on the trailer video itself is I'm hoping that there will be a release somewhere around here in Pittsburgh, which I think there will be, because he actually doesn't, I think he lives in like Philly or some shit.
Yeah,
he's not super far from here. He's actually visited Pittsburgh a ton of times just because of, you know, Romero and whatnot. But I thought that would be pretty likely. But, you know, it's something, it's still like a pretty big event. I don't know. I wish that there wasn't so much bad shit surrounding it. This is something I want it to be good, because it's like, dude, I like you a lot. You provide me with tons of laughs. I've got my fucking brother into him. I've got my girlfriend into him. I've gotten my fucking friends into watching the videos.
As long as you don't get him into your girlfriend, you'll be okay.
Hey, you know, shit happens sometimes.
It's okay, he's married.
She's gonna punch me in the mouth now.
Oh, that's okay. I won't tell her.
And that's the thing too, you know, if this movie comes out and fucking rocks face, then I will fucking say it, you know, and I will be happy. I will be happy that it is a good movie, but
I think the key is don't you know, go in with too many expectations and you'll be all right.
Yeah, go in with none.
Yeah, just do that thing. However, keep your assholes puckered for summer 2015, the Hate-Bit podcast movie. You watch out for that shit. It's gonna be fucking amazing. And the Kickstarter goes live in about 17 minutes. So please feel free to drop us a donation. Pay me to do nothing.
You know they're going to be fucking looking for that trailer. Or that fucking Kickstarter now. Yeah, the Hate-Bit podcast movie. Who's going to play the Sainted Magnus? I don't know. Somebody else.
we should charge like $10 and it's actually just a picture of our asses for like, you know.
A 2.5 hour flick of us recording something.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you know. Hold on a second. There you go.
Somebody farted.
Give me some tobacco.
Random abortion joke.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, that's fantastic. I'm glad that we said our piece, because everyone was probably waiting for us to say something about it.
Well,
so
before we close it.
Okay.
Right. Who thinks it sucks? Say aye.
Aye.
2.
I'm really just in the middle ground about it.
I just think it looks like a shitty Disney Channel movie.
Well, you just say aye if you thought it sucked.
Well, I don't know that it
indifference.
sucks. I didn't see it.
Yeah, that's what I vote for, is indifference. I'm just like,
I mean, it's, you know, it's you can't really blame the trailer, because you know, the trailer's just saying, hey, there's a movie coming out.
Well, let's just hope it's like the Kick-Ass movie trailer. It sucked, and then the film was actually pretty good. So,
well, let's just hope it does okay.
Give it
this way. At least it does have Jamie Kennedy in it. There you go.
Yeah.
So it's already it's off on a positive step right there. So long as it has nothing to do with Malibu's Most Wanted and Son of Mask, then we're good to go.
I don't know how you do that, but you just made this, you know, somewhat gray situation a little bit better.
I try, man. I try. I just take one of the worst possible human beings that I would clobber to death with both of my testicles, and I say, look at him, now shoot him. And then everybody feels better.
Yes, in front of his children. Okay.
Shoot him with his children. Load him up into cannons. It'll be funny.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Anyway, that brings us to halftime right here on the Hate-Bit podcast. Whew, we had a lot to talk about just then. And you know what? I am so impressed, because Silent Rob has really been giving us this entire critique from the back of a speeding train. And we thank him very much for for doing what he does.
Oh, I try.
But right here on the Hate-Bit Halftime, we like to talk about just whatever we feel like. Nothing really specific, but AlphaOmegaSin suggested we need to have a discussion about celebrities that simply won't die, that will probably be here after a nuclear holocaust. And the first one that came up was Cher, was it not, AlphaOmegaSin?
Yeah, I said share, just like, in my opening fucking random quote-unquote witty banter. Cher is not human anymore. She hasn't been for a long time. Slowly, she just bought the rest of her body, and I like to assume that the only thing that's left is part of her brain. But that's eventually going to become a computer. But yeah, she's just latex. And we started thinking about other celebrities that just, they won't die, can't die, and will be around long well after we've, pretty much decomposed and whatnot. And naturally, another one that we said was Betty White.
Betty White.
She's a fox.
I beg to a fox. I beg to differ. That if anybody's on her, dude, that is a bunch of ash with a skin over it. I was wrong. I've seen her recently. She's on her way out.
But dude, Betty White's pretty fucking bad. She's one of those people
She's looked exactly the same since before most of us were born.
Yeah, dude, on the show, Mary Tyler Moore, nobody's fucking like, Mary Tyler Moore, what? So Mary Tyler Moore, look, it was on Nick at Night. That's the only reason I know about it.
Up. There's a Google search bar in the right-hand corner after the podcast. Check it out. Mary Tyler Moore.
Dude,
it's got to be crazy to be on a show. It's got to be crazy to be on a show like the Golden Girls and outlive every fucking person on that show. That shit's crazy.
Dude, it's... Oh, good.
I think the real question is, how is she gonna go?
Okay, well, I'll go with my vote for this. Betty White is going to pass away. I don't know when, but she's going to pass away from being railed by a young prostitute that she pays. So a gigolo is going to be fucking her. She will die in mid-asm. There you go.
That's a good way to go.
That's...
For her, yeah. Dude's going to bang those brittle bones until she just pop. Literally and figuratively.
Like you did with Phyllis Diller.
Things happen, man. Things happen. I gave her the Diller.
We don't hurt people on this podcast, but sometimes people get hurt.
And sometimes those people like being hurt in certain ways.
Yeah. Did you hear the Rolling Stones are on their last tour?
Again?
No.
Again. They just announced it a little while ago. They're on their last world tour, and they're calling it a day. I talked to my mother about it, and she said, well, they announced their last world tour when I graduated from high school. Serious shit. 19... Actually, I can't give away how old she is, or she'll cut my throat. But, yeah. So, but...
I said before the podcast...
Showed me the knife. She did.
After the apocalypse, there's going to be Keith Richards and cockroaches. That's it.
I think Tiger's lips will hang around.
Yeah, they'll be there.
Wait, hold on. Is Bob Barker still around?
Bob Barker, as far as I know.
Yeah, he's still around grabbing young girls' asses and all
I know.
that.
Good for him.
He's just like, you want to know how right the price is? Come here and sit on my lap. Bitches always fall for it. Oh man, Bob Barker.
He still has that really skinny microphone too.
I know. Like they haven't made those since like World War II, but he's still got one.
Dude, those things just show how classy he is, though. He's like, look at this press suit, you fucking bitch. Yeah, you like that? Look at this microphone.
I think the thing is, like he's like too cool to get the microphone to hold up. He's like, I'm not raising my hand.
Like, I'm pretty sure that I'm Bob fucking Barker.
Yeah,
I beat the shit out of Adam Sandler, and I'll make you neuter your animals. Fuck you. That's what Bob Barker does. But yeah, that motherfucker, I don't know how he's still alive. There's actually one person that I swear is like Weekend at Bernie's real life edition, and that's Ozzy Osbourne, because that motherfucker OD'd like 20 years ago. Like, when I went to go see Ozzy live and everything, that wasn't Ozzy, that was just Puppet Master right there, fucking dangling strings. And that's all that was to it. And that shit you saw in the Osbournes, I don't know. I try to pretend that shit didn't exist.
That was voodoo.
Yeah, that was the voodoo you do. That, oh man, Osbourne's killed everything for poor Ozzy. That poor motherfucker.
I think he should die for a mercy killing, really. Then.
I don't know. I actually would rather see Sharon get a fucking bullet between the eyes. That would please. Well, no, fuck that. Scratch that. Sharon's evil. His kids, on the other hand, are just fucking little pieces of fucking crap. I do not like their existence.
Yeah, I was gonna say fucking put one through both their heads.
Yeah, Kelly Osbourne, that bitch, like, it's weird because she's like anorexic now and she looks like a bobblehead because she still has that big fat face. So she looks like a fucking lollipop or something. It's like, bitch, you look retarded.
I'm expecting her to
No
fall
motherfucker
over
oughta
at
look
least.
Oh man, she's just such a terrible person. Who else is old as fucking dirt and just won't die? Like, they refuse to. Grim Reaper keeps fucking knocking and they're like, no, I'm under the bed. Tell him I'm not here.
Let's say Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, Hugh Hefner. There's a reason why the dude won't die. All them titties.
That's what I was gonna say.
Titties
You're surrounded by hot ass bitches as much as he is. There's
He's
no
got
reason
too
die.
much to live for, man.
He's got very little to worry about.
Hugh Hefner should not die because it's just like, okay, I've climbed Titty Mountain and all that was there was more titties, and it's fucking great. Butts and boobs everywhere. Fucking Hooter Town. Ah, the nudie bar.
Hooters.
Oh, nudie bar. I haven't heard that term in a while.
Oh, dude,
The
fucking
nudie bar!
Yeah.
Could I just throw out my own little prediction for a Betty White method of death before it gets too far removed?
Go on,
Sure.
Max.
I here and now predict that she will be consumed alive by the reanimated corpses of her fellow Golden Girls.
Dude, I like that. I like that a lot, but I want it to happen on a reunion episode. Because
Like on
it has to happen on set too, and Blanche comes out and she's like, "Oh, you still want this, don't you, boys?" And then just poor Betty White gets fucking swallowed whole.
Oh,
I like that idea.
There you go. You know what would be a great way for Betty White to die is if she was like becoming a real golden girl and getting herself a shower. And round and deeply.
Oh.
If I wake up tomorrow and Betty White's dead on the news, man, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Dude, if I wake up tomorrow and Betty White has died one of the ways that we talked about,
You'd be dancing the fucking Charleston.
no, I'm just gonna be like, told you, motherfuckers, told you. You don't want to fuck with us. We know when you die, and we don't want to fuck with people that have that kind of power. That or we set the shit up. We paid some people. But like, all right, I want you to piss in her mouth, have a fucking reunion episode. She gets swallowed whole, and like then she inside the stomach meets up with the dude and gets fucked. Yeah, there you go. All that
Make
shit.
sure there.
if it's the reanimated corpse thing, I'm gonna be a more than a little bit concerned. That'll signify the beginning of the zombie apocalypse as Betty White getting ravaged by the dead Golden Girls.
Who are we kidding? That bitch is gonna outlive all of us.
Yeah, she is. Like I probably only have like a couple of days left, and I'm pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
I've made my peace, and I'll be fucking happily in hell listening to good music and all the other good stuff. So,
Happy day.
And somebody would be like, "Stop saying things about Satan, Jesus." And it's like, just be quiet.
Yeah. Well, you know, Betty White's alive, so take that, Jesus.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's time to delve into the Hate-Bit ball bag, which is brought to us this week by Hate-Bit Celebrity Hitman Services. For those celebrities that simply won't go away, we'll take care of it for you in due time. So, yeah, make sure and drop us a line if you were really curious about that at all. Anyway, we got some mail here to us at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. And this comes from Ghost Frost. And Ghost Frost says, "Can you guys please explain to me why Tekken 6 sucks? I don't get it. Everybody says the game is the worst in the series, and I don't see why. I don't see a problem with the gameplay, fighting mechanics, etc. Thanks in advance if y'all answer this question." So,
Y'all.
Let me start off by saying the entire Tekken series sucks.
Whoa. Before you take a
I'll
shot,
say that.
before you take a
Wait,
shot
wait,
wait,
on
wait.
Tekken 2, Tekken 3, and Tekken Tag 1,
you get too excited.
I played Tekken 2 just like the rest of them. And then when I was playing it, I was wishing I was playing something else the entire time.
well,
So I know about Tekken.
Okay, wait a minute. I want to do this real quick. Welcome to Fanboy Wars!
Season 2!
Yeah, this is version 2.0.
Version 2.0.
Version 2.0.
Well, something.
Fight!
I used to play Tekken as a kid, being like, well, how do I do the fatalities? There's no fatalities? Well, fuck this then.
Well, it's either Tekken or Virtual Fighter. So,
I'll take Virtual Fighter over Tekken for sure.
but did you have a PlayStation or something?
Oh yeah, I got
There
into
you go.
Virtual later on, so
I
Yeah,
don't know, Tekken 6 isn't like a horrible game, but I really don't like many of the like characters that they brought in. I just thought the Tekken 5 was a much better package, like as far as a game goes. And it's kind of hard to drop below Tekken 4 because that game was fucking garbage.
Tekken 4 sucked. Period.
Yeah.
It was just horrible. Tekken.
They were like, we're dead or alive, right? We're not? Oh,
Oh.
that sucks.
No, it's just when you got Jin Kazama walking around with his hood up the entire fucking game. You're
Saint and Magnus isn't your favorite Street Fighter Cross Tekken? Isn't that your favorite one?
Fuck you, no way. that as much as that game got hyped up to the point of where it was going to be shit when it was brought out, and it was just shit full stop. It wasn't shit because it was overhyped. It was just shit. So, as far as I'm concerned, I don't like crossover games like that anymore.
Well, I mean, 90% of the fucking game is on disc DLC, so fuck.
No. You know, just excuse me. I was going to say the whole thing with Street Fighter Cross Tekken was all about the gems.
Yeah.
Well, they had them in Street Fighter versus X-Men. They had them in fucking Marvel versus Capcom, and they didn't work then. So why have they brought them back now? And this whole thing about what is it, Pandora gems or whatever they're called?
Yeah.
What's the fucking shtick with that? We don't need them. So I'm going to go back to Tekken. My favorite one is Tekken 3. My least favorite
is probably the best. Yeah.
My least favorite is Tekken 4. Honorable mention Tekken 2 and Tekken 1.
It's just always been a fighting series I've just never gotten into. I mean, I would rather play Dead or Alive over Tekken just because of the titty bouncing physics. I'll take that over the Tekken.
Everybody likes the bouncing boobies.
Exactly.
Well, they like it a lot better than men with, leopard heads.
That's true.
And fucking like boxing kangaroos and shit, man. That series is just fucked up.
Hey, Gon was a good fucking character in Tekken 3.
Wait, hold on. Did you really just say Gon?
Gon, yeah.
Gon is like the worst fucking character in that entire series.
What? I was
agree.
being sarcastic, by the way. I was being sarcastic. But
Oh my god, I thought you were serious. I was like, this motherfucker just lost his mind, and I better find it for him. Because I was like, no fucking way. Dude, Gon, I should not...
What about
like,
to be? He was another fucking cheap character. All he did was lie down for the entire fucking fight.
I have to let everybody know. I have, like, an unheard of hatred for Gon, and I will explain why real fucking quick. Gon is in Tekken 3, okay? He's apparently like some mascot character in something in Japan. I don't fucking know. Fuck that little motherfucker. Okay, here's what happened when my friend picked Gon. Okay, I was the shit at Tekken 3. Beat all my friends' asses all the time. Everybody, I was the go-to guy to fuck somebody up in Tekken 3. Cool beans, whatever. Okay, so then my friend plays Tekken 3 with me, and he picks Gon. I'm like, this dude's an idiot. He picked a fucking chump change character. He beat me. He beat me several times in a row. And it's all because Gon, you can't punch him, and you can't fucking kick him. You have to, like, low attack him the entire time. So the way that I played, it did not fucking work. I didn't go for low attacks all the time. I was like, no. I wasn't used to playing against Gon. Who the fuck's gonna pick, like, the Fruity Pebbles dinosaur? This shit doesn't make no fucking sense. And just after that, I remember just wanting to take the controller and break it over his face. Because I was like, no, this shit did not just happen. I'm about to park the fucking mystery machine on your fucking balls. Fuck you.
Yeah, so
sorry, I had to
Gon,
put that out.
I was just being sarcastic there, but Gon, he's not a good character. The only way to deal with him really is to juggle him, and there's only a couple of characters that can actually do juggling properly. So,
oh, dude, Eddie Gordo is Gon's bane because he has that fucking that low attack juggle.
Oh, Eddie Gordo can fucking suck a dick.
Yeah.
He really can.
Cheapest character in the series.
Cheapest character. All you need to do is just press X and circle and just keep pressing it. You don't even have to press any movement because all you need to do is just press X and circle because all he does is breakdancing moves, right, for the entire fucking fight.
Dude, the reason Eddie Gordo is fucking annoying is because he goes from high attacks to low attacks to mid attacks within seconds. and it's almost impossible to block all that. And it's like, did this motherfucker really just do all this shit? And then for whatever reason, they got rid of Eddie Gordo, and then they what was that one bitch's name that's just Eddie Gordo but with boobs?
Oh, okay. Christy, though.
Yeah, they got Christy in there, and I was like, all right, one, bitch, get the fuck out of here. You're not Jennifer Lopez. I know that's what they were thinking whenever they made you, because that's what she looks like. But get the fuck out of here. You're not Eddie Gordo. You're like the template. This does not make any fucking sense. Somebody could argue with Nina and Anna, but fuck you, doesn't matter. Death by degrees, take that.
Isn't this like a continual problem with the Tekken series, like balancing? Have they ever made a balanced Tekken game? Has that ever even occurred?
No, not really.
I didn't think so.
I mean, there's lots of fucking balancing issues, especially like when you had like the old school shit, like when they brought in Devil, who's like, I'm gonna take off like your life bar, fuck you.
Yeah, like, with like one hit.
Well, yeah. Speaking of a one-hit life bar, destroy, fucking Paul Phoenix with that one punch, he just charges the punch and punches you square in the fucking head. Literally almost all your health goes.
Oh, I'm not going to sit here and say Mortal Kombat's balanced, but at least I can tear people's spines out and like beat them with them and shit. You know, it's more fun to me.
I mean, legitimately, like, back to like the actual question though. Tekken 6, I didn't think it was a horrible game, but it just, I don't know. Some of those new characters were fucking corny as shit. The little like beat 'em up adventure mode was very half-assed put together. Like, I expected a lot better because they had already done some shit like that, and this wasn't any better. So I didn't understand how they couldn't have put in the effort and time. It was cool that they had an extra, but, Tekken 5 had, like, everything hidden away in it. So it's kind of hard to beat, unlockables like that when you can get, like, an entire game library. -4, which doesn't exist. But
4 didn't exist. Sorry,
that one isn't real. That's just like a bad memory everybody has. But in general, it's not a horrible game, but it's not Tekken 5 or Tekken 3 standard. That's for fucking certain.
Yeah, and the online for it just sucks. Full stop. You can't even get a fucking game on there, and it's peer-to-peer fucking networks, for God's sake. I was trying to play a match on Tekken 6 last year with my friends, and I couldn't connect to anybody. And they couldn't connect to me, no matter who hosted the fucking room. It was stupid. So ever since then, we've never really trusted a Namco online fighting game.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that the only drawbacks really I found to 6 were that most of the new characters are pretty well shit. I do like Dragunov, but he's about it. And the adventure mode is pretty lame. But if I could tack onto that, Tekken Tag 2, which came out pretty recently, I've been enjoying that quite a bit actually for the past few months. So that
Tekken
one's not
Tag's
so bad.
a really good, really good. I like the first one a lot. I didn't even really get to fuck around with the second one all that much because pretty much all my friends, they get the fighting games, and then I just jump in and play some fucking rounds unless it's something I obsess over. But and what the fuck is that one character's name? I always forget how you pronounce it. You just said his name.
Dragunov.
Yeah, Dragunov. Okay, that dude is fucking badass as shit. I did like him a lot, but he didn't even start off in Tekken 6. He started off in that one on what is it, PSP? I forgot the
Dark
fucking name.
Resurrection.
Yeah, and he was like, when I saw him, I was like, this dude looks really fucking badass. Granted, he looks like he literally fell out of a fucking Marilyn Manson video, but still pretty fucking cool. I definitely like him. He's he fits in with the rest of the characters. It isn't like that one that looks like a fucking retarded superhero from like Kamen Rider or whatever.
Yeah, Lion. That guy sucks.
Yeah, I the minute that I saw him, I was just like, dude, you should die. You should die 50 fucking thousand different ways. Just die, please. With your fucking split cape that makes no sense. Idiot.
Oh, no.
And his fucking hairdo that, oh, damn, that's...
What's that ninja dude called that they put in there to try and make it feel like Ryo Hayabusa? What was his name?
Oh, the dude that's like a Blade wannabe?
Yeah, Raven, I think his name.
Raven.
Yeah, Raven.
He's
I mean, Raven
shit.
isn't actually like... If you play as him, he's not a bad character, but legitimately, he is like a straight ripoff of fucking Ryu, and on top of that, visually, he's Blade. That's it. Like, there's no fucking question in my mind. He's just Blade without a trench coat.
One blade is enough, thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, history has proven that one blade is indeed too much.
Yeah, so Tekken, yeah. Tekken
Yeah,
6,
well-
meh.
See,
Yeah,
there
fuck-
you go.
fuck
That was
Tekken.
quite good.
Fuck Tekken.
Street Fighter all the way for me.
God
even-
damn it, I love this job.
I don't even like Street Fighter, but I like Street Fighter more than Tekken.
I like
I'll just say this. I just wrote down Guilty Gear. Challenge, motherfucker.
Guilty fucking
100%.
Gear. Damn yes.
You've
Yeah.
got me there.
Guilty Gear is too fucking. I mean, I love Mortal Kombat to death, but the minute I got my hands on Guilty Gear, everything else just fucking got blown up in a fucking wake of its awesomeness. I was like, God damn! And that soundtrack, that's a soundtrack to fuck to, folks. I assure
It's
you.
just a soundtrack to do anything to.
Yeah, it's
you
like
can-
you want to
one of the
drive fast,
best.
listen to Guilty Gear. That shit makes it feel like your car should transform and fly. and it should.
Actually, the Musha soundtrack for when you're driving, just period, because it's just awesome.
Oh, dude, the entire fucking series just. But yeah, so Tekken 6. So what else do we got in this motherfucking mailbag?
The
We
ball bag.
got more stuff right here in the mailbag. I just love the way that, the way Silent Rob was talking about Tekken 6. Like, he's like, nah, I'd rather go take a shit, just that kind of attitude, which,
Oh, for
which I
sure,
could really
dude.
appreciate.
Taking shits is way higher on the list than playing Tekken.
Yeah, you know what's even better is leaving shits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Don't forget to wipe now.
There you go. We got more mail here at the YouTube inbox, and another piece of mail coming from Adam Eugene Stencil, a regular Hate-Bit provider, and he asked us, what was your favorite arcade machine that you can remember having tons of fun playing? Two come to mind for me. Number one was the WWF Royal Rumble arcade. Excellent choice, Adam. I have to say that that arcade runs off of the Naomi board, which is one of my favorite, in fact, I think my very favorite Sega arcade board. And the other one is the original Donkey Kong for the arcade. Another excellent choice. I don't know. Everyone's a big fan of arcades, I assume.
It sounds like he's kissing
Oh,
your
yeah.
ass there, lad.
Well, somebody's got to. It's rough out there, man. Yeah. What do we think about arcades? I mean, I'm trying to break it down to just one, and yeah, I don't think we have that kind of time. I'm going to need a graphing calculator or something.
Right. I like Namco shooters, so I'm gonna just go and say Time Crisis 1, Time Crisis 2, Point Blank 1, 2, and 3 on the Namco shooting cabs. That's me.
I think Sega shooters beat the hell out of Namco shooters.
No, I just mean for nostalgia reasons.
Just for nostalgia reasons,
Yeah.
you think?
Just for nostalgia reasons, because I had more time. I've spent more time with them than I did Sega arcade machines at the time. So
I've
Well-
always been all about the 2D fighters myself. Marvel vs.
like
Capcom.
Tekken?
2. No. Street Fighter 2 was my first arcade game, and then I played a shitload of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 when it was out. And 2D fighters in general. I still have countless arcades in my local area, so I can always go and
Yeah,
place-
goddamn you.
So there's no shortage of Street Fighter and King of Fighters and other kinds of versus cabs to play on. So fighters for me, definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna say up where you're at, man. You're fucking lovey. You're living the fucking dream for arcade
Yeah,
fans.
dude, you are living in downtown holy shit.
Yeah, man, because that right there is fucking lucky, especially because their arcades, they have those sweet arcade cabinets. I forgot what they call that particular style, but the ones that you actually are supposed to sit down at them.
Yeah, that's so perfect, especially if you're gonna.
The Neo Geo 29 was like that.
Like, they look so fucking badass. Like, you just get yourself a little stool, get a fucking handful of quarters or tokens or whatever, and just play the shit out of, like, some shoot-em-ups and everything, or some kind of fucking random adventure-based one that requires time. Those are fucking sweet.
Right. And interesting tidbit about Japanese arcades: every cabinet comes with an ashtray, so pretty sweet.
Why
Japanese
not?
people like to smoke.
Dude, that is fucking awesome right there. I don't smoke, but I'm always happy to hear when they're just like, yeah, don't worry, we thought about you. We thought about
We
you.
got you.
That is nice, right? It's like they thought of everything.
we'll give you
Yeah.
Alpha. We'll give you a lolly stick, and then you can pretend you smoke.
Hey,
Fucking
Yeah.
right, man. I'd do that. I'd be like, look at me, puffing away on my lollipop.
Well, we still got candy cigarettes, so
you do,
I
don't
like that. Yeah.
see?
I'll get
Everything's
myself some
created
candy
for man.
Lucky Strikes and feel like a real man.
You guys also
Yeah.
have conditioned jackets.
You know, I don't have the air-conditioned jacket myself, but they look
But
pretty
you could
sweet.
go get one if you wanted one right now.
I'm thinking of investing in one, yes.
See?
How
But,
much?
you know-
We want our money. We'll give you our money. We want one.
What?
we want Hate-Bit
are we all gonna-
podcast air-conditioned jackets.
That
I'm going
we are.
into the the Hate-Bit exporting company now, is it?
There you go.
Yeah,
Hate-Bit
just so you know, folks, our Japanese hookup now for export goods, you got them right here. So you got to hear it first. Yeah.
There you
Fuck
go.
me. Fuck me if my inbox isn't going to be full after that.
I
Oh.
know, yeah. Make sure and drop him a line at youtube.com/KidShoryuken. And if you can't spell that, there's actually going to be a link down there in the doohickey, so please check it out.
Are
And
you
subscribe to him, for
are
fuck's sake.
you quoting one of our good friends there?
No, I'm not. I didn't steal that from anybody. I don't even watch YouTube.
Yeah.
Nor
yeah.
is this guy. I don't. No. Not a guy that.
Yeah.
But if I did, it'd probably be a guy that drives a Hyundai. But anyway, this
Oh.
is funny to like 7 people. I want you to know that. But about arcade games, I think my first arcade game that I got to handle was the original by Trade West. Was it Trade West? Or was it Taito? Double Dragon, the original Double Dragon. Who remembers the original Double Dragon?
I do.
Oh, of course.
And then playing it on the NES, I'm like, what the fuck happened? You can't play 2 players?
You got 50,000 at Double Dragon?
Yeah,
Oh,
in like
shit.
9 seconds.
Oh, they've
Yeah.
they've just put that on Netflix actually. I've just
I
saw it
love
today. I was
fucking
like, what the fuck?
I love that.
So-
fucking
You know
thing.
the funny line about that with me and Mrs. Yellkaos is, so you touched her breast.
You touched the breast.
Anyway, but that one, and I want to say this. Now, Kid Shoryuken over there in Japan, where arcades are a common, are actually a thing. Over here in Los Angeles, you know what we call arcades? We call them laundromats. And it's like we get around here, and I say that my favorite that I have so much fun with and fucks up, I swear I got carpal tunnel syndrome from this, is Sega's Dynamite Cop. Or you might
Oh.
find it in some jurisdiction as the Die Hard Trilogy Arcade.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This game doesn't fucking rule. I mean, it's, a little rough around the edges, but it's a blast. I think so anyway.
Sega Rally Championship 1995.
Oh,
The 2-player sit-down one though.
that's a good. You know what? No. Sega Virtua Racing. Remember the sit-down arcade?
Oh, I
Oh, yeah.
don't I?
That was the first saw they're like, oh, and now you look at it, you're like, this looks like Gumby.
Crazy Taxi, 18-wheeler. There was some good racing games.
18-wheeler. I love that giant
Game.
steering wheel with the 18-wheeler game.
I know, and he doesn't do anything. You're like,
That's
turn
my
right,
favorite
damn
thing.
it!
It's like
Silent
steering a boat.
Arcade games, don't you?
A little bit. I didn't really go a lot when I was a kid, but there are definitely some arcade games that are like only fun in the arcade. Like House of the Dead has always been a series that's not really fun playing at home, and you can only really play that fucking shit in the arcade and have fun with it. Typically, if my dad was going to bring me to an arcade or something when I was a kid, I was like, why don't you just take that money you were going to spend and just like buy me a game instead? And so he would usually just do that. So,
Oh.
and there was only ever like one arcade near me, which is now gone. So it was not a big arcade person when I was a kid, for sure.
Oh yeah, well, exactly. If I can't find them in Los Angeles, California, you certainly can't find them in Ohio.
Oh God, yeah, they're not here. They're gone.
Who's playing with a Zippo lighter?
I tell you, if you're ever at a skating rink, you couldn't beat the X-Men arcade game.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's it, man.
You couldn't get on the X-Men arcade game. There was like a line.
a
Yeah.
line? A
This
line?
It was perfect for birthday parties, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
I'd say what's annoying about arcades nowadays, though. They only have one of 2 games. Shooting games and racing games. They don't have any fighting games anymore.
No, they have fighting games. The ones I have been to one quote-unquote arcade around here, which is actually more of just a room, and there's a lady that sells popcorn in the corner. And out of the 12 arcade cabinets, 8 of them were fighting games, and they were all either Street Fighter or Tekken games. So I share your rate, Silent Rob.
Oh yeah. Well, around here, there's always that one sad, lonely Cruising USA cabinet over in the corner.
Yeah, some pizza parlor, and the owner's like, I'm a fucking idiot for buying this.
Exactly.
It costs more to run this thing than I make.
It totally does.
But you know what? You know what's a great game that always seems to be neglected, at least to me, is Atari's Area 51.
That is
Yeah.
a good one, man.
You can find those in like the weirdest places, in like a burger joint, and like, you know, one side doesn't work, but it's just a kooky, great game that often gets neglected.
I remember when I went to the States 12 years ago, and I saw this really, really cool fucking Harley Davidson cab. And it was just like a weird, crazy taxi sort of clone game, but it was fucking awesome. And you actually had the big Harley Davidson fucking handlebars, and you actually sat down like you was on a fucking chopper, and it's really awesome. I can't remember the name of the fucking game though, but it did have Harley Davidson in it. So if anybody knows, put it in the comments down below.
Oh, you're talking about the Harley Davidson, the ride-on game from Sega?
Yeah, that's the one. That
Yeah, I
was
think it's just called Harley
fantastic.
Davidson.
It was just called
Really?
Harley Davidson.
Yeah, really creative title, right?
Oh, I know.
Anyway.
You can just imagine the marketing meeting for that. What should we call it? Harley Davidson. Yeah, that'll do.
There you go. Anyway, that's going to have to do it for the Hate-Bit ball bag. Oh, do we have somebody else? Someone want to say something there?
I didn't say anything.
Okay, well, I heard
It
nice
was, it was our friend Jimmy. Go for it, Jimmy.
Jimmy, what do you say?
Oh,
no,
just
Yeah, put
tacking
him on.
onto the Harley Davidson being a shitty. I was just saying Hot Pockets, like I don't know, the jingle would make it. Hot Pockets.
Who wants a hot pocket?
There you go.
There we go.
And that's going to do it for the 8-Bit Ball Bag. And we thank you for joining us. Please drop any questions, comments, concerns at 8bitpodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to drop us a line and find out how you, too, can be a part of the Betty White Deadpool. It's a little office pool we're going to be running around here at the Hate-Bit Studios. So please drop us a line and we'll let you know how to get involved. Anyway, now that we're into the second half of the program, even though I'm pretty sure we're well over halfway, if you hadn't noticed, the news is a little slow right now because we're just a few weeks outside of the holiday rush where a lot of the big games are supposed to be coming, and you notice I said supposed to. So, recently news has essentially been on every major website, hey, the Wii U's not out, but it's coming, or Halo 4. So,
Well, you can tell they're excited for it because Iwata himself did a bloody unboxing on Wii U Direct on the 3DS.
I did see that, and I couldn't believe that a camera made Reggie's face look even bigger. He looks like a manhole cover.
He could be used as a manhole cover if you kill him, start slicing and dicing him, and
You try and kill him. He's something that cannot be killed with conventional weapons.
maybe some conventional weapon.
Even if you did try to kill him, his body would be ready.
His body would be ready.
Yep.
And he'd fuck you up with that balance board. Anyway, so that's really what's going on out there. That's why we've had a lot of banter on today. But the Wii U's not out yet, just in case you didn't know. But we're less than a week out, and we'll have more about the Wii U as
Things unfold.
As things unfold. So I thought we would have more to say about that, but it turns out we don't. So check this out. I was surfing through the Hate-Bit Network of Hates on Facebook. If you want to be part of that, just go ahead and type that into your Facebook search bar, and you can find us. And someone dropped a piece of an article, and I lost their name. I feel like a dick right now, but hey, we thank you. About Toy Headquarters, THQ Publishing, recently defaulted on $50 million worth of credit with Wells Fargo. And Silent Rob said it best, I think, when he said that this looks like to be the final nail in the coffin for Toy Headquarters. What do you think, Silent Rob?
Yeah, I think this is really the final nail in the coffin. I mean, this company has been struggling for quite a while now, and I think this is the end. This is it. I really don't see how they're going to bounce back from something like this.
Well, what do they have going on? They published Darksiders 2, did they not?
Yeah,
I think that was like the biggest thing they've had recently was Darksiders 2.
Yeah, and that's not even pushed 1 million copies yet. It's at 900,000 copies worldwide. So,
Wow, 'cause they're plugging the shit out of it. It's the first game I've ever seen advertised on a billboard. I'm not kidding.
True.
I was driving down the highway just the other day on the freeway, on the 405 freeway, and I saw an advertisement on a fucking billboard for this game. So,
but it just goes to show that You know, even one of the biggest companies, like THQ, can't keep up with the changing trends in video games now. It's a shame. It really is. Because, THQ have got the WWE license, which they've done quite well with for the past couple of years, but, in recent years, they haven't done very well with it.
I understand they're faltering these days.
Oh, yeah. And I don't think they can make... they're not going to make much off Darksiders 2, and if they're going to do any more Darksiders games, the studio that's got it might as well just fucking change to another publisher, because THQ are not going to be able to do it. And as a result of all of this stuff, like Metro Last Light has been put forward, put back, to March next year, and also another title, which I can't remember the name of, has been pushed back to March as well. So they're looking very bleak and not coming out. So THQ, best of luck, guys.
Yeah, we really wish them the best of luck, but
not much hope.
What can you say?
Not much hope.
Not much hope on that front. Speaking of not much hope, this is coming from Reuters magazine, Reuters Financial Services magazine, and we've got a little bit of news from them that technology giant Sony stock rating has now been lowered to 1 point above junk status.
Ooh.
All of us here on the podcast were a bit shocked to read this. I mean, junk status, really? I mean, are things that bad for Sony?
Like I said before the podcast, it looks like Sony needs to put out a proprietary format stat. They need to get one going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because you know how huge of a success that Blu-ray was.
Fucking hell,
yeah, not to, I mean, it really, because of the total powerhouse that the Betamax was too, so they really know what they're doing over there.
You know what they should have done, right? With the PS3, they shouldn't have given it DVD support. You know why? Because the DVD player on the PS3 upscales DVDs. And it does look, actually, in some cases, better than fucking Blu-ray.
Whatever. I think Sony needs to bring back the mini disc. That was a good one.
No, bring back the UMD.
Oh yeah, that was just as well.
Oh,
yeah,
UMD took off.
Same thing.
Same thing,
technically they are the same exact thing, just a different shape.
Unreliable tape disc composite.
Well, one's a CD and one's a DVD, basically, because that's all the fucking UMD is. It's just very, very small DVD.
Sure. Well, I think I can support my own claim with that it's a repurposed mini disc. Sony, you got to say about Sony, they don't give up.
No.
True.
They really know how to stick it to you, but apparently they're not good with money, and I don't know how they got as far as they did without being it, because according to financial services company Moody's says that without and I quote, without robust restructuring in the coming 12 to 18 months, Sony's non-financial services businesses, meaning everything they do with the exception of, because they are involved in high finance, but that means that PlayStation and Blu-ray, all that stuff, will at best, break even in the coming year, but they probably stand to remain unprofitable, which how the mighty have fallen in such a small span of time. But, as we've talked about on this show, not really. I mean, they've kind of been fucking it up for a good long while.
Well, they've kind of fucked themselves in the ass with bloody TVs. They sold their entire TV division to bloody Samsung. They fucked up they bought Ericsson, and since then mobile phones haven't been that great from them.
Well, not to mention losing $110 on every PS3 sold in the first 2 years, something like that.
Oh, I know. That was a fucking idiotic move to start with. I don't know. I think what they're trying to do, they're making all this technology that's cutting edge and top notch, but nobody's really grasping it. So
just look at the Vita. Just look at the Vita. You can't. Of course, they can't put out a fucking handheld where they can't make a fucking proprietary memory stick for the damn thing. So you can't use your old memory sticks, and you got to buy these expensive ass memory sticks. So you always got to, every time you buy a Sony format or Sony product, you always got to think about, well, I got the base price, and then I'm going to have to purchase all this proprietary shit, because that's just what they do, And so 10, 15 years down the line, You're looking for used memory sticks for the Vita that you're not going to be able to find anywhere because you can't use just basic shit on the damn thing.
I know, it's like...
No. That would be, like convenient and stuff.
Oh yeah, can't have that. Can't have that.
I know, and you look at the size of the Vita memory card. It's no bigger than a bloody micro SD card.
Yeah, it's just got a funny little notch in it.
Why couldn't they have just made it a micro SD card instead?
Because then they wouldn't be able to gouge additional money from you by forcing you to use their own memory cards that only they have access to.
That's how they make their profits.
I see shit like this, I have to think to myself, haven't you fucking people heard of the internet?
No, it's just...
You can research this sort of thing now.
It's kind of ironic, though, because, I mean, for how long growing up did you look at Sony as the brand of TV that you had to have or else you didn't get that great of a brand?
Yeah, that was what it was. Yeah, that was quality. That meant
that's why my father would say it's the kind.
And on top of that, it's like, okay, how about this? Whenever it came to CD players growing up, if you didn't have like a Sony portable CD player, your CD player was junk.
A disc.
Oh yeah, if you didn't have a Walkman, you're getting your ass kicked.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like they actually like
fuck you and your RCA player.
Dude, they coined the term Walkman, and everybody associated it. I mean, it was even used on TV. And it's a brand name. It's kind of like, I don't know, Q-tips, for instance. It's
Band-Aids.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, they coined a term, but the thing is, Sony just keeps trying to emulate that exact thing over and over and over again. It's like, okay, well, you got your hand in Blu-ray. You forced a new medium onto people that weren't really asking for it, and it didn't take off because you did it how many years too early?
Yeah.
And your TV division is failing because you're trying to charge like, I don't know, several $100s more for a TV that everybody else is making that's also just as good.
Yeah, if not
it's
better.
Like Samsung made the same TV, but it's cheaper. Vizio made the same TV, but it's cheaper. Sharp made the same TV, but it's cheap. Like, they fuck up everywhere. Their computers, another example, way fucking overpriced for what you're getting in there, and they're not that fucking good.
Well, that's the thing.
Like, they're average.
You could get an Acer of similar specs to a Vio and still pay $200 or $300 lower than what you pay for a Vio. It's fucking crazy what Sony are doing.
I mean, you have to look at Sony as a whole, because I mean, right now we've actually focused on electronics. I mean, we haven't gone into the PlayStation much. We haven't talked about their fucking studios, from movie studios to television studios. Haven't talked about their music division. Admittedly, I don't know much about their music division because if it's not metal, I don't care. And when it comes to their movie and TV studios and everything, again, I'd actually have to pay attention and give a fuck. But the fact is that, if those studios are putting out shows or movies that aren't hits at the box office or aren't raking in tons of fucking ratings on TV every single time a new episode airs, or even fucking reruns, then, that's a hit that they take. They had to pay all those people. They had to pay for that airtime. They had to pay that fucking channel, et cetera, et cetera. So that's money that they're just fucking coughing up and bleeding out. And their electronics division, again, is just another thing. They're just terribly fucking mismanaged. It's like the entire company is like, there's no communication between the entire thing. Like, they're like completely sectored off and walled off from one another as if they don't fucking exist. And it shows.
Well, it's just like, they're just like the EA of the electronics world in a way. Because EA is
it seems to me they're really trying to emulate Sega at this point.
Yeah. I was trying to leave Sega out of it, but the trying to use a...
There's no way. I mean, look at the ads, look at the piece of shit management. They're the new Sega all the way through and through.
Now, in general, I really think that overall, if Sony's going to end up like being able to fucking right the ship, they need to sit down with everybody and get like... They need management to look at everything at a whole. Like, you can't look at shit fucking like, oh, well, our electronics division's fucked up. Let's just focus on that. No, focus on everything. Everything under the fucking sun. You're one big company. It all goes down to like Sony at the end of the fucking day. If PlayStation's fucking up, make sure you're paying attention to the other stuff too, because you can't just focus all your attention on one division. It doesn't work that way.
No.
They need to be put on a fucking allowance like fucking Lindsay Lohan or some fucking shit, man. That's what they fucking need. They need to be cut off from that fucking shit. That's it.
Yeah, and now they still got that shit. I still can't fucking believe, like, you know, one of their ways that they're going to go about fixing this, they're like, yeah, we'll need the LCD TV division because people want, you know, a 4,000 fucking resolution television.
No, we don't.
You know, because all the things that support 4K resolution, you know, all that stuff out there that comes in 4K.
Do you realize how many people have their PS3s plugged into standard definition TVs, and you motherfuckers are talking about 4K TVs? Get out of my fucking face. That's so ridiculous.
You know,
if they just fucking
whatever it is, I'll bet you it supports mini disc.
I hope so.
It probably does, and it needs fucking memory stick duos out the fucking wand. Like this shit just blows my mind, man.
Let me put it this way: I had a PlayStation 3 for 2 years before I even got a high definition TV, and even then, when I got a high definition TV, it was only a 19-inch bloody flat screen anyway, and that was in 2009.
The thing is, dude, that fucking 4K TV, it's like 23 or 25 fucking grand. Think about this. Look at what the economy is like right now. You need to be putting out shit that people can afford. You put it out in mass at a fucking reasonable price, and it's actually like good quality. Not saying that Sony can't make good quality stuff. They most certainly can. If they couldn't, we wouldn't be fucking talking about them because they'd be irrelevant. They'd be RCA or some shit. Okay, this is fucking Sony that we're talking about. They can definitely do some good. They've got, well, some of the smarts to do it. But it's like, you know, you're trying to put out shit that people can't afford to impress who? 5 fucking people that can actually afford it and are dumb enough to fucking buy it? No. Exactly. High as a fucking kite.
I can see it now. PS4, $999 US.
Yeah, $999.99, $999.99, $999.99, and that's all that goes to
$999.99.
Like and that fucking scares me, man. It's like, you know, you're gonna be pushing shit that nobody can fucking afford, and then you're gonna have to clearance it all out, and it's gonna hurt your wallet because you didn't think ahead of time.
Well, look at that 3D display that they pushed out earlier this year. Or it's like $179 now. You know, and that. We didn't even get it in the UK. I've not found it anywhere in like PC World or Dixon's or Curry's or anywhere like that.
What, the PlayStation branded 3D TV?
Yeah, the 3D well, it's actually a display because it's technically not a TV because it doesn't receive any TV signal.
Yeah, dude. What was it? I was sitting there shooting a shit with my one friend because I was thinking back in a little smaller TV for up in my bedroom. And he was mentioning that. He was like, yeah, man, they're dirt fucking cheap. Just pick up one of those. At least it's in 3D. I'm like, I just responded with, what the fuck am I going to watch in 3D? Like, I give a shit. You know, and that's the truth. They jumped on that bandwagon so fucking hard. Like, just completely spread eagle on it, not caring what the fucking repercussions were that were going to enter them. And what entered them was a lack of interest.
Well, look at this.
Sony should talk to Nintendo. I think Nintendo knows all about people's interests in 3D things plummeting. I think they can give them a few fucking pointers.
Dude, absolutely. And that is a fucking fine example. You know, it's like, it was cool for fucking 5 minutes when it was making its comeback. You don't go and devote your entire fucking, like, company to what was just hip for a little bit, you know.
Yeah, but Nintendo also knows if you're going to go 3D, sell your device for $170, not $4,000.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's $170 now.
That's the thing.
The $4,000 remained.
Yeah, that's it.
See, that's the fucking thing is like, okay, they got the Vita out. Well, the Vita is still overpriced, and nobody's really fucking buying it right now. What's ironic is that the Vita games are actually really like cheap. I'm talking like super cheap. I've seen a bunch of games that are going for like $15 and $20, brand new. Whereas their console counterparts are going for like $40. So, you know, that is just another example. It's like, lower the fucking price. You could have done that at E3 or announced some fucking games for people to give a shit about, or just done a bunch of shit. Again, it's just another division within Sony that has its head so far up its ass, it can't fucking see the light of day.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because their only point is, hey, buy this. You can watch Netflix on it.
Yeah,
Watch
buy this.
Netflix on
It's
my
new and
mobile
shiny.
phone.
I know.
Oh, I just don't understand what Sony's doing at the moment. Yeah, I do like Sony products. I do buy Sony products, but I'm not going to be spending £28,000 on a fucking TV that does 4,000 resolution. It's how much resolution do you think we're going to need? Really?
Here, I got a good question for all of you. As a matter of fact, anybody who's fucking listening right now, if you want to answer this, by all means. I don't even say this as a fucking dig at Sony, but as a genuine fucking query. And that's, what was the last Sony product that you bought brand new? Because for me, legitimately, the last Sony product I bought was my PS3.
Same here.
Same.
Same here.
And
Same here.
that's literally it.
PlayStation 2
I bought a
for me.
cordless phone a while ago.
A cordless phone?
They still make cordless
Coincidentally,
phones?
has the same RAM as the PS3.
Oh,
I didn't
Dude,
even know they still made home phones.
Okay, so seriously, right here, you got fucking 5 individuals who've all said the last thing that they bought, and it's not any of their recent fucking products, so we're not jumping onto a bunch of shit that they're putting out for, obviously for a reason. And, you know, granted, it could just be, you know, it could be, a fucking conspiracy, but I'm saying, I don't know too many people have been running out and getting their fucking products at all. I'm talking like,
Well, frankly, I didn't know they
speakers.
made it. They still made anything else.
Well, dude, like I went TV shopping at the beginning of the year because my TV went out, and it's like, let's see, do I want a Vizio for $300, 1080p, or do I want a Sony TV same size for fucking $800?
Yeah.
Like, come on, it's easy. It sums it up right there. Nobody wants that in this kind of economy in this day and age. It's
Not
stupid.
even just that, man. Like, if you hit up like a fucking Best Buy or a Walmart or wherever they got a bunch of TVs displayed and everything, and you see a fucking Vizio, because that's what I got right now. I mean, if I saw a fucking Vizio beside Sony, it was the same exact picture.
Yeah,
I was like,
if
"Okie
not
dokie."
better, if not better half the time.
There you
So
go.
Yeah.
well,
I mean, and the thing is, it's way fucking cheaper. Vizio's making a bunch of money, obviously, because that company's been fucking booming for the most part. And they're putting out decent products at an affordable price. I'm not dick riding them. I'm fucking simply stating common sense. You want to make good money in a fucking failing economy? Put it out for something that people can afford, so you can stay in business.
indeed.
Just put out a device that sucks your dick and fixes pancakes, and everything will be fine.
Yeah, and if you have a fucking Sony logo on that, all the better.
Here's
See,
easy
there you
way.
go.
Here's an easier way. Sack Kaz Hirai, sack that other guy Jack Trenton, and the rest of them, and just give Sony back to the Japanese.
They still make decent cameras, though. Eh?
Oh yeah, the cameras are pretty good, but again, overpriced.
Agreed.
See, that's good. And you know, it's funny you guys were talking about the resolution and everything. And you know, Sony, they're a bunch of bastards, but they're no different or strangers to the change in resolution when you're talking about like all the fog on the PlayStation games
Or the N64 games.
or the N64 games.
All the Sega Saturn.
You know, it's like, how does fog look in like 4,000? Does anybody? How does it look in 4K?
Hey man, Ultra Fog 64 is like one of the best games on the system, especially in 4-player split screen deathmatch where you can't see anything except for nothing.
That's what I always
fog
said. Like, you
mechanics.
know what the 64 stands for in Nintendo 64? It's how many inches you can actually see in front of you in any given game.
Oh my god.
You just gotta decide which color.
Yeah.
Okay, and we have to definitely bring up things like Turok the Fog Hunter, because that game was pretty awesome.
And gold,
Around every corner, just a
Golden
thing of
Fog
fucking fog.
007. Golden
Those
Fog
jungles are
007.
steamy.
Yeah, like man, it's awfully hot in this jungle right now. Where's Natalia? Oh, getting shot. Oh, fuck.
It's all this precipitation out here. It's so foggy.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. There's a discount on dry ice or something.
Or Mario Fog 64, you forgot that.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Or F-Zero. F-Zero was pretty damn foggy, isn't it?
Yeah,
A lot.
Foggy 064.
Yeah, Superman 64.
Super Fog 64. Yeah, that game was super fucking awesome.
That was That was all part of Lex Luthor's plot, was to obscure Superman's vision so he couldn't
Yeah.
save citizens.
Superman 64 was
The first
shitty on purpose.
use of the fog, not like pretending it wasn't there, but like I put this fog to fuck with you.
Oh,
Yeah,
what about this? Diddy Fog Racing.
Yeah, we
Diddy
definitely
Fog.
had that.
Diddy Fog.
Dude, I love the fact that with Superman 64, they tried making sense of it. And keep in mind, obstruct a man's vision who has X-ray vision. Let's stop that. That ought to work out real fucking well. Nobody will put those two fucking sons together. That shit's so fucking ridiculous. And it's weird just going back to the games, and especially like, okay, it's not 64 related, but it's just a funny example, is the Silent Hill HD collection. They fucked up emulating, was it Silent Hill 2? And in certain areas there's no fog. Well, they had the fog programmed into the game. It wasn't because of technical issues. The fog had to be there. Well, they fucked up emulating it, so the fog's missing. So the fucking stage is just cut off. There's nothing there. And I assure you, that's not ominous. That's just going, wow, Silent Hill's kind of not even finished. Huh, this is kind of strange. I need some big titty nurses with fucking raisin faces to fix this.
A Silent Hill game on the N64 would probably work out then with all the fog. I gotta say. I always say that the N64 has two things going against it: the fog and the fact that its controllers give the Atari 5200 controllers a run for their fucking money in crappiness. So...
Dude, the only way that you can really figure out how bad a Nintendo 64 controller is, A, with a fighting game other than Super Smash Brothers, and B, play Mario, any Mario Party game, and then look at the palm of your hand when you're at the fucking emergency room. So,
oh, dude, Mario Party 1 ruined so many damn N64 controllers, I can't even imagine. It's actually the reason why they put Mario Party 2 on the Virtual Console, not the first one, because of how many fucking stick-waggling games were in the first Mario Party. That was like the entire fucking game. It was ridiculous.
Dude, it does get fucking ridiculous, but man, like I love the Nintendo 64. It's just there was so many fucking like technical limitations. I mean, from like the music, for instance, that just sounded rubbish by comparison to the CD counterparts on the other consoles of, you know, fucking Sega and Sony's. But like, man, just every time I played one of the games when I was younger and running around, I was like, why can't I see that far? Why is every game foggy? And, you know, when you're younger, you don't realize, well, it's because of technical limitations. And the draw distance can only go this far, because if it tried to go and show all that stuff back there, the game would be like 4 frames per second and then would explode. And your mom
AlphaOmegaSin, and you seem to be quite the professor around here. Can you tell me why PlayStation 1 fog looks like semen?
Oh, that's simple. Because sperm, I guess. Hold on. Polygonal sperm is like the new proprietary format from Sony. At least back then it was. So they were trying to implement that shit. They were like, no, you will fucking like this. We don't give a shit if Nintendo has that fancy fog everywhere. Fuck this.
Call it liquid storage media.
Oh, God.
Except for it was everywhere, including areas you didn't want it to be stored. And it's like, what's going on here? I don't need all
it's
this.
like right on your lips.
Or on the face. You just getting pie fixed with
Yes!
this.
In the face!
In the face!
And wait, and what kind was it that was on the Saturn?
It was
that was,
isometric fog.
That was isometric.
Isometric fog.
I don't know, man. Like, I swear
It looked more like a spray than anything else.
To me, it wasn't nearly as noticeable, like, on the disc-based systems. I don't know. Like, I don't remember it nearly as much as I do on the 64, because it seemed like every other fucking game was just fogging it up everywhere.
Well, who remembers all the GameCube games were, like, muddy?
Muddy GameCube games?
Yeah, I was going to say muddy. I say muddy with
games in the mud!
I know! They just seem to, you know, it just seems to have that ambience in every single Nintendo title that it's like got this either fog or muddy. I'm not saying the graphics are bad, I'm just saying it's got that muddy feel.
I say it's time to check your contacts, Mr. Magnus.
Well,
I was gonna say, man, when I saw like the games on GameCube, like especially like lately, I've been like, damn, GameCube games are fucking awesome looking.
Yeah, they look
that's what I
great.
thought every
Unless
time
they were published by Acclaim, then I could get the whole muddy thing.
There we go. I must have been playing too many Acclaim.
You must have been playing some Acclaim games. You know, that could cause you to go crazy, Mr. Magnus. I want you to know that.
Oh no.
But I'm glad we had this talk about the fog and the mud and all that stuff and all about, you know, Sony and their 4,000 resolution. It's been a really good time, you know, and that's because, you know, it happened again. You guys wasted another perfectly good chunk of your life listening to the Hate-Bit podcast. I've been Yellkaos. Joining me has been AlphaOmegaSin.
Love it or hate it, bitches. Dingling thing in your mouth and all the other crazy shit.
Sainted Magnus.
Yeah, so Sony, get your fucking head screwed on, or you're gonna lose a customer.
Yeah.
The unstoppable Silent Rob.
Fuck the AVGN movie trailer. Fuck it to hell.
And the 10-foot terror from Tokyo Town, Kid Shoryuken. Jimmy, thank you for being with us.
Sayonara, I'm gonna go get drunk.
Hate-Bit Podcast.